We're gonna go with something a little bit more chill. We are going to go for the Dark Souls 2 weapons tier list, and we're gonna go with that because it's just much more chill. We're gonna keep it chill. It's a Saturday after all, so I'm gonna pull up the tier list here, and we're gonna get rid of this. Okay. All right. We are pulling up the tier list right now. Okay, and we are back to normal. We are back to normal. So this is the Dark Souls 2 weapons tier list that I actually scrubbed the wiki of all of these icons here, as you can see. And man, that was kind of intense. As you can see, there's so many weapons in this game, so this might take a while. I'm gonna go fast. I will go fast. And we do need to add some columns in here. So we're gonna add in a row below. We're gonna call that, oh, I already called it new on accident. We're definitely gonna call strength, because strength in this game really belongs in a separate column. And I don't know if it even changed. Okay, well there's strength. So let's just move that down. Okay, this is wild. This website's wild. Let's change the name here. Let's change this to E tier. There's a lot of tiers in the weapons here. We're gonna do F tier. That'll be the worst. Okay. So strength weapons, definitely we have to separate them from the S tier, but you can go up against some S tier weapons with strength weapons, so don't worry if you're watching this and you're wondering, what weapon should I use? Well, first of all, I'm gonna say a couple things before I start this tier list. Every single weapon in this game can be used to win. You can win with every single weapon. You can win with the ladle if you're good enough. I mean, Distortion 2, the guy who rated me, he plays like ladle all the way through the games. You know, he goes 100% ladle, like red tier stone or whatever. So you can use the ladle, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard. So we're gonna go through, we're probably not going to rate catalysts or sorcerer staffs, so I'm just gonna leave those alone. But we will do crossbows. Bows, I don't know too much about bows. This is gonna be PvP tier list, PvP. Yes, absolutely. PvE is gonna be a completely different thing based on just spamming R1. You know, that's just the pure DPS is not really what we're looking for. We're looking for moveset, we're looking for damage, we're looking for style. This is, again, the radwalls tier list. This is my opinion on what the coolest and best weapons are in the game, so it probably won't fit everybody's tier list, but without further ado, let's start. And if some of these icons are, I agree, they are like cut off, and I can just push inspect and find out what it is. So that one is the claw, and so I might have to do that here and there. All right, so let's just, I see one that I like. So we have the arced sword. So we're gonna put that in A tier. That is the longest Murakumo in the game. Really good. I'm just gonna go. And I'm just gonna, if I see strength weapons, I'm just gonna put them in the strength thing, because guys, this is gonna take a long time to clear this out. We might be here for a while, but let's just kind of, and this will be ordered as well. If I'm on strength, the first one in line will be the best, the last one in line will be the worst. And so let's just start putting this together. And we will, I mean, I'm not gonna separate weapon types in terms of like straight swords, katanas, all that stuff. We are just gonna go with the vibes here. We're just gonna be just jamming with the vibes. And unfortunately, oh yeah, what is this called? Hold on. That is a local file, okay. Well, I had more ambient files, and we do have more rooms to chill in, and we'll get to that later when we're getting destroyed in PvP. All right, Drakewing is a good tool to start arena fight. Bullet can hit your opponent while he's in cage. Absolutely. Love the Drakewing Ultra Greatsword. It actually has a really nice cancel. Yeah, it is a dex weapon. You can do a nice animation cancel with this, where the little animation of the whooshies come out, and that's cool too. You can kind of, you know, mess with your opponent as well, if you're on 0 stamina and you use that R2, it goes extra slow and then shoots it. Man, you can really free aim that thing too, and the projectile goes so fast. However, you will leave yourself open if you're really close to your opponent, so not that good, but it's still a great weapon. Yeah, I've gotten hit by that many times. Claymore, let's just put it in B tier. We have this weird hammer thing. I mean, I've been messed up by this thing, but we're just gonna put that in E tier. Battle axe, definitely top of A tier, if not in S tier, but we will sort of check out that in a second. This thing, executioners, no, chariot lance, I'm sorry. So I'm not familiar with like every single name with the thing, so we will have to check it out. Bastard sword, yeah, it's kind of short and doesn't really hit that hard. And again, guys, this will take, this is a long tier list. Let's just put, add a row below. I want to put crossbows. Crossbows I find myself using more, and I'm just not really a bow player. So we will just put that crossbow there. So we have crossbows. I personally love the Avalon, and I'll just put that on A tier, S tier for the Avalon. We have this straight sword. That one is pretty good, actually. It does low-ish damage, but the moveset of straight swords is very good. So we'll put that top of B tier. There's a ton of weapons, so we will move around stuff as we're checking it out. Definitely the butcher, we'll just put that top of B. It's very good. We have the hunter's axe. It's a bit less range than the battle axe, so we'll put it back there. Here's a strength weapon. We'll just put that there for now and reorder those later. We have this, what is that? Drake Keeper's sword, so that is a great weapon too. Tons of range on this guy. You do get the sort of broadsword move set, but the range really makes up for it, so we'll put that back there. And this is a katana, okay? Chaos Blade. Now, Chaos Blade does a ton of damage, and you can buff it. However, it does tick 50 health from you every single time you even whiff an attack on an opponent. Like, if you attack him and he rolls through it, you guys all know this. It takes 50 from you, and any time that you even hit your opponent, it takes 50 from you. Very good, but so if you are good at PvP, you can just swap the weapon out to a different katana and you're good, you're home free. A lot of people don't really realize that you can swap weapons so easily in this game, so they just keep spamming R1 until the weapon actually kills them. But I think for the modern PvP, it is a good weapon. I'll put it in A tier. With that, I mean, it's somewhere in there. It's a very good weapon. Okay, we have this weapon here. This weapon, the Black Flamestone Dagger. It's an S tier, okay? We all... So we have the Black Flamestone Dagger, and the Black Flamestone Dagger is insane. That weapon has tons of range, and it has the dagger moveset. And the dagger moveset is, we all know, is very fast, and you can... Jwampi Online, welcome in, first time chatter. Good to see you, thank you for coming in. Yes, I've been playing this game since launch. I've seen it all, and it's a great game. Look at how many weapons there are, so we're just gonna go through this very slowly, or very fast. Just putting crossbows up here. These are probably the weaker crossbows, and they are, you know, they fire once. Maybe the stamina consumption is better on this one. We have to check that out. It's a tough call. Blacksmith hammer, I mean, no, it's bad, so we put it in put it in F. No one's using that. This hammer as well, I mean, it's probably better than that one. Who knows? Okay, we have this weapon. The Channeler's Trident actually has a pretty sick moveset. I'll put it in B. It has the spear moveset, as well as those sort of like multi-hit R2s. Kind of a sick weapon. And the rolling attack does multi-hit. Kind of a sick weapon. Okay, now we have the Berserker's katana. And that one is actually a katana. Katanas in this game generally are very good. This one is a strength katana, and it's kind of short. So it's not as good as the others, however, you can get messed up by this very easily. Top of B, A tier, somewhere in there. We have this one, the Archdrake weapon. Unfortunately, it's Oh my god. Okay, thank God we did not lose it. I hit the little side button on my mouse, so we are just gonna go back to presentation mode. Okay, sorry about that. Whoa, whoa. let's hit some. Let's hit the Super Saiyan. That, thank God Firefox saved us there. Okay. We got to get hyped for this tier list. Got it, super hyped. All right, lances in general are just insane. Lances, we have this lance here, very, very good. Not as good as this one because this one's longer. You can do crazy combos with this. Bandit knife, S tier, very, very good. Daggers in general are nuts in this game. So we have the dagger. That one I would say is even better. Okay, they're close. Let's just put daggers close together. Those two daggers in general. The bandit has a really cool rolling attack, lots of range on it, and it combos well with this executioner's. So you can do that. I've been seriously messed up by that. Let's look at this one. Black Knight Greatsword actually has a ton of range, and we will put it in A tier. In the back there, it is a greatsword. Greatswords are generally okay. It's like not the best, not the fastest, but you can get a nice you can get that phantom range as someone's rolling away and get a nice range on it. It's really good. This Murakumo thing, let's put it in C tier. Not as good as people think, unless you're level 838 and you're on like 50 new game plus cycles, then it might go up, but just for PvP in general, 155-ish cents, that is where we're sticking it. Okay, this sword, really good. And I see Marble using this a lot. That is the Fume sword. And that is like in the Fume Knight's other hand, he has this sword, has a nice range, has a nice damage. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that amazing sweeping R2 attack, so it's not as good as, which we will get to in a second, is the longsword if we can find it, which a lot of these are really hard to look at, so it's hard to find. We have some multiple weapons here, so I'm just gonna ignore that. We have this weapon here, the Skeleton Lord thing. It's a solid C, maybe B tier. It's kind of cool. Actually, I used to use this weapon a lot. We should use that weapon more. We'll make a sort of bone character. We'll do that one time. Here's a strength weapon. Just put it in the strength for now. We'll do strength later. This thief dagger thing, I mean, generally, daggers are really, really good. That's like the broken thief. Very, very good. This is the invisible sword. What is that called again? Oh my gosh. The Dark Drift. Yes, the Dark Drift. The invisible katana. I'll put it up there, and actually this is probably beating the Berserker sword just because it's invisible. If I remember, the moveset is kind of similar. I like that it's invisible. It's a little bit better because it's invisible. That's probably the only reason. We have this sword. This is a great sword, and I actually like this sword. That's the Charred Lois Greatsword. Actually, it does kind of sick damage, has flame damage. We'll put it in B tier, maybe top of B tier. And I'm really looking at this tier list, like what can I beat with what weapon? Like obviously I can beat this blacksmith hammer with any of these weapons above it. So that's just the way we're looking at that. The claw, unfortunately, it just really doesn't have a good weapon moveset in this game. I don't really get it. It's gonna go F tier, unfortunately. Okay, halberds. When we move into halberds, that is when it gets sort of weird because the R1 on the halberds, one-handed R1, boom, when you're running at someone, you can just, it's almost like every halberd has this attack, and it's very good. You can catch people when they're spinning around and they're in their menu. It has a nice range. So halberds really can do well. Unfortunately, though, when you're matched up against certain weapons like the spear, even the Channeler's Trident, it's a close match. So depending on the halberd, I'm not sure exactly of all the damage outputs, but I know they're pretty similar, except for some are kind of horrible. But we will get to that later. Okay, we have this katana, which is actually the Alone Knight sword, Alon, and that sword, that katana, unfortunately, has a slower attack than some, and also it has, doesn't have a parry. It has that, hurt yourself attack, which it's cool. It buffs the weapon, but it really is kind of slow. So we're gonna put that on top of C because the running attack is not as fast. However, maybe some people like that it's not as fast as the other katanas. Usually and typically you want to go fast. You want to go fast. Broken sword, just put it at the bottom. I think that's just like a broken straight sword moveset, and it does pretty much no damage, but maybe it's that good. With the Black Knight halberd, unfortunately it's not as good as in Dark Souls 1 or even I think Dark Souls 3. It's not even as good. In this game, it's kind of, it's okay, but we'll put it next to the halberd there. It's the same halberd moveset, so you can really mess some people up. Just put that in strength. I see a strength weapon, another strength weapon I see. We will just put all strength weapons together because usually people make strength all together. You know, you make a strength build, so you want to look at what potential strength weapons you can use. I won't really be counting club as a strength weapon. In fact, I'm not a huge fan of clubs. We'll put that in E tier. This dagger is probably the weakest dagger, so we will put that in somewhere in B tier. And it is kind of funny how we'll put it in the top of back of A tier. What's up, Nate? How you doing? I hate Kumo tracking. Yes, Kumo tracking is funny, and if we could find the Muro Kumo, we actually did already place the arced sword. Personally, that's probably just my personal opinion on the arc sword being in A tier, just because it's nice and long and it looks so sick. We are counting style in a little bit of this as well, guys. I admit, you know, this is the radwalls tier list, so it is going to be kind of skewed to what I like. Okay, we found one. The S-Stock. Better than every weapon in the game so far. S-Stock is so freaking good. It is one of the best weapons. It is, you can basically keep roll catching people. You can R1 running attack when they're trying to get in their menu. Always get a little bit of damage. It has a quick, very long sword. One of the best weapons. And if I could find its brother, there it is, the Ice Rapier. I'm gonna put that one behind the S-Stock because you can do the same exact thing and it has almost similar length. However, the Ice Rapier has that amazing R2 attack. Unfortunately, it can break your weapon, and in these really fast matches, Repair Powder is kind of hard to initiate unless you know someone's going for their red Tearstone ring or something like that. So Ice Rapier is very high up there, very, very good. You can still use those R2s and get those projectiles out, and they have a little bit of tracking. Of course, it used to be better. That weapon, when they patched it, I was very happy because that thing was insane before they patched it. So this is current patch. We have this big weapon. I love the style of this weapon, but unfortunately it's just a little bit short. It has the halberd moveset, so it's somewhere around there. I could probably beat it with that. I mean, it's a loose tier list. Anything on S tier we will really take a look at and make sure that we're getting those in order, but after that I'm just gonna play stuff. This is a twin blade. Typically the twin blades, unless it's the couple of the twin blades, they have weird movesets. They don't really do that much damage. Could probably beat it with like a bunt. I'll put it back of C. It's okay. This weapon is unexpectedly good. This is the Ilium Lois, and that is unexpectedly good. You can steal people's health with it. It was like the only weapon in the game where you can do that. Very, very good weapon. Actually, it has a really long hit. Doesn't do that much poise damage, but if you use the stone ring, very, very good. So I'll put it up there, somewhere behind there, what is this again? That is the Chaos Blade. So yeah, obviously I could probably beat that with the Chaos Blade, somewhere around there. We'll fine-tune it in a little bit. Flamberge, very good greatsword. Lots of range, has a really good moveset. Doesn't do that much damage. You can infuse it with bleed. I don't know if you would want to do that, but I definitely would put it over the Claymore, something in B tier. Very cool weapon. This hand axe with the little fuzz on it, with the metal on it, the like nail bat hand axe. That one is somewhere up there, somewhere in B. You know, I'm not really sure if I could beat it with any of the stuff underneath it, but it's rough. Okay, regular halberd, I'll put that at the top. I'm the most familiar with that regular halberd. Again, the two-handed running attack is not good. I mean, in certain situations it might be good, but any player who's worth their salt can just quick roll through every single triple hit of that. so don't really go for that. The one-handed running is where it's at. The R1s are pretty good. Backstabs are very good with these halberds. I'll probably put the channelers behind it. It's rough. It's kind of hard to get this all, but we're gonna try our best. Okay, then we have this weapon that's got the same halberd moveset. Put it in the back there. Let's keep going. Falchion, you got that curved sword moveset. Pretty good. You know, put it somewhere in B tier. And we have the soldier's straight sword. That one has actually very long range. It has the straight sword moveset, so it goes up there. The straight sword moveset, that two-handed running attack is so freaking good. I think I found it, guys. Okay, the longsword. Best weapon in the game is the longsword. The longsword has not only a very quite nicely sized blade, but it has that two-handed running attack, right? Sunday Sad Boys doesn't know 90% of these weapons. Don't worry, that's where we're going through this whole dang tier list. Look, there's like 300 weapons or something. We are gonna do this tonight. Don't worry, we are getting through this because it's a lot more relaxing than actually playing. No, we'll get to playing later. I'm just gonna play my meme build, the guts build. We will get there. Longsword, best weapon. That one-handed R2, you can catch people's rolls with it. It is a combo. If you R2, if you land that first R2, you can push R2 as fast as you can. When you know you're gonna hit it, you will get that 2-hit combo. Same with the R1s, it just does a ton of damage. Does DS2 have the most weapons in all Souls games? That's a good question. Since it does have 3 DLCs, they did add a lot of weapons, so a lot of DLC weapons. That is, I think it might be true. Definitely more than Bloodborne, possibly more than DS1. DS3, I'm not sure. Elden Ring probably has more. Let's hold it. Let's hold back on that for now. I'm not gonna say if it does or if it doesn't, but we're enjoying it. We actually love this game so much because, man, that PvP, they built the game around the PvP, let's be honest. Sunday Sad Boys with the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. And we will be streaming a lot, guys. I was very blessed to get a 3,500 person raid by Distortion 2 last stream, and it was insane. But people are like, hey, you handled that pretty well. Luckily, I didn't see that. I think it didn't show my raid animation. Confused Guitar, thank you so much for the follow. Thankfully, it didn't show me how many people were raiding me. I probably would have freaked out, but I was like, I think I'm getting bot raided, man. All right, let's get back to this. Sorry. This is gonna take so long that I cannot get distracted. Okay, love this weapon. Whether you like it or not, this weapon actually is pretty good. The Great Scythe. Unfortunately, it's kind of nerfed in a lot of ways. There's no tracking on the R1 like there is the halberds. So technically you could say this is better than worse than the halberds. However, that running R1, tons of range, has a weird hitbox for the most part, and you can hit with the hilts of it, so you can really kind of stun someone in place. I'm gonna put this back of A tier, and actually the backstabs on this do very, very good damage. Like almost every time you'll get something like 700 to 800 damage. So that's a good weapon. You see a lot of high level people playing with that. And I'm also considering, guys, the stance swap ability with all of these weapons. Like coming back to the longsword, you can do stance swap on that. If you have the longsword and the S-Talk together, all of a sudden, boom, the possibilities are so crazy for getting combos. That's why any of these weapons up here, if you're two-handing any of these together, you just get the wildest, very high damage combos, and you just start schmooving on people. So try it out. It could be fun. All right, so we're gonna just put a strength weapon there. Hide sword, I'm not sure if this hides or if this is this is the magical one. Blue Flame. Unfortunately, I'm not a huge fan of Blue Flame. I think if you're doing magic, which that's a whole nother tier list, if you're doing magic, you should probably stick with a catalyst or a staff. So I think it's pretty short, and it has a slower cast time. Some people love it. I'll put it in C tier. Same one here with this magical twin blade. I'll just put it next to there. It's all right. It's okay. Ornstein's spear. S tier. This weapon is so freaking good. Super long range. Has the regular spear moveset, not the lance moveset. Very, very good range. You can hit people with those. It has projectiles on both the one and two-handed R2s, and you can do these like. It actually catches people. It's nuts. You can cancel it, so the electricity still comes out. So dang good. Very, very good weapon. You just can zone with it so easily. Yo, what's up, Vantopia? Thanks for coming in. We're doing a DS2, that's Dark Souls 2. Yeah, you agree with everything. I know you do. We're doing a tier list here, okay? So before we get into some PvP later, we're gonna get you playing. Vantopia. Vantopia is an old friend, everyone, so thank you for coming in, Vantopia. Thanks for checking out the stream. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, donate bits, hit the channel point redeems like this one. Get that Satan, everybody. Satan is good. I'm S tier. Oh, thank you. First time on Twitch? Heck yeah. Well, welcome in. It's honestly a crazy community. You can just get, lots of good friends here, and it's cool, man. I have lots of friends streaming, and we're having a great time. Crescent Axe. Crescent Axe is a great weapon. Actually, very, very good. Thank you, Rational Emma, for the talent redeem. Yes, I have a lot of talent. If you're talking about me, or talking about them, those guys have a lot of talent. Gotta love Finnish people, dude. That's, I forgot their name. Oh, it's Super Manivetto. Okay, Crescent Axe, some people love it, some people hate it. I'm gonna put it in the back of A tier just because I know how to use it. Has a pretty wacky moveset, but it has some pretty good hit potential. You can hit with the hilt of it, has a nice running attack, super long. Probably the longest next to the Butcher Axe. Let's put it in B tier, next to the Butcher Axe with that R1 running attack. Very, very good weapon. This Dragon Axe, I'm not a huge fan of it. I've seen people mess me up with it. I think it's a strength weapon, so probably belongs in strength, but we'll leave it there. Somewhere in C tier. Sorry if that offends someone who loves that weapon. But we're just moving through what I know. All right, let's check this one. Which is it? Black Steel Katana. S tier. Okay, that's another S tier weapon. This is a dex weapon, so I've been told you need to get something around like 80 dex to really get the potential rolling with this guy. But 80 dex, okay, put it in there. Has an amazing running attack, whether it's one-handed or two-handed. The R2s are sick. The two-handed R2s do that crazy combo, and it does so much damage. It's crazy. So katanas in general are probably number 3 in line after straight swords and these couple of S-stock ice rapier things. I think people generally agree with that. Okay, this is a weird weapon. I'll put it next to, what is it called? Let's just so we know. The Great Machete. I don't really see people ever playing with this unless it just doesn't do enough poise damage, and it doesn't do enough damage. Probably does some damage, but it's hard to use, and it has a kind of a wacky moveset. The same sort of halberd moveset, so it's somewhere around here. So we're not really going super specific on B, C, and E and F. We're just trying to put them in there somewhere. All right, this weapon, it's the oh my god, what is his name? It's the Scholar of the First Sin sword. No, it's the Forlorn. So it's a Forlorn sword. This one, if you infuse it with bleed, you can do some wacky stuff with it. So I would recommend trying it out maybe with bleed, but I'm not really sure. And okay, put that somewhere in C. It's okay. It's not too long. It takes a lot of stamina to use, and you have to be hollow to use it as well. So it's kind of a weird thing. You could make that noise all the time when you get hit. We have this great sword. I'll just put it next to like this. Probably better than this great sword. Maybe it's behind the claymore, somewhere in there. It's a little bit difficult to place all of these, but we're gonna try our best. Hyde's spear. It's okay. It's not the best. Was that the one? Oh, sorry. Yeah, hide spear. It's a spear. We'll put it above the Channeler's Trident, somewhere in there. Lucerne, probably one of the worst halberds, so we'll just put it in there. I think it hits through shields, but not enough for anyone to be happy about that. Let's put it next to, where was that? Yeah, just put it there, next to that thing. Okay, all right. Keep moving. Hide Great Lance. Now, this one is very good. I'll put it in B tier, but it's not as good, in my opinion, as the Hide, this one, which is called, they're both sort of brothers, the Hide Lance. So the Great Spear and the Lance, they're almost like exactly the same thing, just a different mesh or a different model, 3D model. And I kind of like this one more. I think it does less stamina damage, and it actually is very, very good. So let's put this one actually top of B. Did the Lance moveset in general, people found out to be very, very nice. So get those lances out, guys. Come on, it's very good stuff. This lightning battle axe thing, I'll put it up there. Maybe I've seen people use that. I think it does a lot of stamina damage. Probably could get messed up by Berserker. Put it over here, maybe back in the back. We got a lot to go, so we're just moving. This is, I think, a staff, unless it's the malformed tooth or whatever. No, that's a bad staff, so we're not doing staffs. Sorry everyone. No staffs. I know you're mad about that. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do it later. Everybody, just please. We got a lot going. Okay, keep moving. Icugs. I believe this is Icugs. Let's check it out. Yes, you can't see, but I'm just pulling up what it is. This is a strength weapon, so we'll put it. It's actually it is the best strength weapon in my opinion. I believe it's strength. It's kind of like quality. I think you need a lot of dex to use it. But if you get hit by this weapon twice in a row, boom! It's like all of your health is gone, and it has that laser as well, so you can cancel that laser, get a nice laser, fake laser coming out. It's interesting to see. If anyone, Vantopia, probably don't know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows this weapon. It's called the Ivory King Ultra Greatsword. Very good game. Very good game if you win the game. Yes, it's gonna be very good for you. Let me get some water. Hold on. Okay, that is top of S tier in the greatswords there. We're gonna keep moving. Another strength weapon, I'll just put it in the back there. Mace, yeah, it's got the same moveset. I'm putting the maces, not a huge fan of the movesets. It's in there. Mail Breaker is a horrible weapon. Put it down there. It's like a really short S-stock. It's not good. Okay, this weapon is very good. I think that's Stone Soldier or Pates. Okay, Pates. Pates is S tier. Let's put it in the back of S tier. But Pates is very, very long. It does a ton of damage. I'm probably gonna put Pates in front of this because you could probably beat that with Pates. Pates has almost like half spear, half lance moveset. Very, very good weapon. You can put it in your left hand, right hand. The one-handed running attack, you can get like, it's like a 10-hit combo or whatever. It's like do, maybe 5. Ladle is horrible. It's at the very bottom. Don't use the ladle. Murakumo does a lot of damage. I'll put it in somewhere in A tier. Very good weapon there. And then we're gonna go another, I think this is like the Defender's Greatsword. Not very good. I'll put it somewhere in C tier. It's better than the Broadsword. Maybe better than the, you can buff it. It kind of has a cool buff. It's a cool weapon, just not as good as you would want. Claws, if you have 2 claws in, yeah, Habigili, we're gonna be here for a while. It's been 40 minutes already. Yes, we're barely scratching the surface here. So we're running through this. Okay, Drang, welcome in, by the way. Thanks for coming in. Good to have you here. Dranglaic Sword, it's almost like a troll weapon. You get it really early in the game, so people might think, oh my god, I need to upgrade this. It takes Twinkling Titanite to upgrade. They're trolling you. It's not that good. Don't fall for the troll. We're gonna put that in E tier. Has short range. I'm sure if you have it fully upgraded in the arena with all the like accompanying stats, it could be all right. Has a ultra parry, has all that stuff, but it's not that good. Okay, I see some more strength weapons. We're just gonna put strength in here. We will organize strength in a little bit. This is the Ivory King. It's hard to tell. It's the Ivory King straight sword. This weapon is straight up garbage, but if you use it, you get all the props in the world because it is straight up fashion souls. We're gonna put it top of F tier, but it is straight up garbage. This weapon is pretty weird. It's actually the Chaos Rapier. Its rapiers in general are pretty dang good. I believe this one has a parry, or I think it's like its R2 is a parry and its L2, like, it doesn't really make sense. Or no, it's one-handed R2 is a parry. I think that's it. Just getting too locked on with parries, like, sorry, I meant to say getting too parry lord on people, just parrying over and over again, not gonna be good. So we don't want to encourage that, but still, you could probably beat a lot of these weapons with just the general rapier moveset. So put it somewhere there. The key greatsword is straight up cool looking, first of all, but it isn't that good. We will give it somewhere in there. This thing actually packs a punch sometimes, not as much as some of these, especially if, you know, you're spamming or whatever with some of those daggers and you can really get on people. But it is a pretty good weapon, and that is the key, the embedded key greatsword. I found another strength weapon, so we'll just put it in there. We're gonna do strength in a second. I see a lot of red iron weapons, so let's do those. The red iron wind blade, as people like to call. Okay, we see a lot of new people using this weapon, and you know, you might think I'm gonna put an S tier. It does a ton of damage. It is a little bit slow. However, it has a ton of range, like phantom range even. So you have to make sure you roll out of the range. But that thing actually hits really hard. A bunch of new possibilities opened up with it when people started to be able to stance swap, or they started to stance swapping. It's been in the game since the very beginning, I think. But we learned how to do it. Sorry, I just got some water there. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'll put it in A tier, just above the Great Scythe. It's okay. It's okay. It's not amazing. It does a ton of damage. You can buff it, but don't get it too accustomed. Don't make it your one-trick pony weapon, because people will just be able to get around you and really mess you up. I found this weapon, and as cool as that weapon is, it's kind of bad. We will get back to strength later. Okay, this one is the pike. The pike, this is going to be controversial, is S tier. Not only is it S tier, I like it better than Pate's Spear. I'm sorry, but the pike has more range, so it just looks insane from your opponent's screen. Probably looks like you're hitting them from across the freaking arena because the phantom range is so long for them, but that is one of my favorite weapons. I used to use that weapon all the time, and they even buffed it to make it better at some point. Really, really good weapon. I love it. I think it's S tier. I might be wrong about that, like I am probably wrong with a lot of this tier list, but we're getting somewhere with some ideas here. Okay, broadsword unfortunately is not too good. I'll put it behind a lot of this stuff because it doesn't have, let's say, range or a good two-handed running attack. Not very good. Not very, very good. We'll put it around here. It just keeps getting down and down and down as I see what weapons I could use against it. We'll put it in E tier. Not very good. Outclass tier? What do you mean by that, Nate? What do you mean by that, my buddy? Okay, same thing with the Varangian sword. Yeah, I would say it's a lot better than the broadsword, but it is kind of, we'll put it back of C. You mean outclass, like the best class that you could possibly get? That's what I'm gonna say is S. S is absolutely the best in the game. We have this weapon. Okay, this weapon is so dang good. This is a Murakumo. It is a little bit slower than its counterparts. However, that R2 does a projectile, and man, does it hit hard and really can take people off guard. Has like a spread that goes across the floor, so you can catch people when they're in their menu. You can catch people just running away. It's actually good. What's up, Kamyo Kool-Aid Purple Drank? Good to see you, my friend. This weapon is very, very good. I would even put it, and it does a ton on backstabs, a ton on parries. this is like a weapon you swap to do a ton of damage. But I'm not really too versed on what like, there's so many weapons here that there's not a lot. We'd have to do a lot of testing, but we did a lot of testing. 8 years of testing, okay? 8 years they put me away. That's my redeem, by the way. That's that hero's journey. Hold up, let me get some throat saver. Good stuff, good stuff. Ooh, I'm good. Okay, Moonlight Greatsword. Top G weapon, okay? This is a great weapon. It's a great sword, so yeah, not so fast. However, that two-handed running attack, so long. It might be the longest, I'm not sure. The one-handed R1s, so long. You can just spam that and actually catch people as they're trying to run around you and stuff. So dang good. I'm gonna put it back of S tier, it's so good. The R2s do projectiles, and you can even, if you're on very low stamina and you hit that R2 and you do like a minus stamina or whatever, it does that R2, that golf swing, I guess not, don't call it golf swing, that projectile attack so slow and can catch people off guard. I swear I've done that so many times where it's like last hit in the game and they just start panic rolling into me and they lose all their stamina and just get hit by that blast. And it is really fun to use. I would say it's one of the funnest weapons to use. This isn't the Moonlight Greatsword, okay? This is the Blue Moon Greatsword in S tier. Hey. Just because you can, the possibilities are there, right? The possibilities are there. It's back of S tier. We might have to rearrange. Don't worry. Back of S tier. This is the Blue Moon Greatsword. Very bad weapon, okay? It's gonna be maybe C tier. It hits kind of hard. I think you can buff it. Maybe. We'll put it in C tier somewhere. It's just too short, too fat. We got some crossbows here. Okay, this is a really cool crossbow. Okay, yeah, you can buff it. It's better than some stuff. I actually, when I was first playing the game, I used the Blue Moon Greatsword for some reason. I was like, I'm gonna use this weapon and make it cool. And I didn't do too bad with it. I mean, the thing hits like a truck, so you can use it. However, you will get outspaced by tons of stuff. So, okay, we will move the Moonlight Greatsword back down to A, I appreciate that, All right, this weapon is the Puzzling Stone Sword. Okay, that's a cool weapon. It does have kind of a good running attack. It has the straight sword running attacks, so it's pretty good. A little bit short, but it does have those unique, no scaling. That's a good point. Yeah, you might want to figure out how to do that with mundane or something. I'm not sure the best possible way to do that. But it's okay. I mean, but you'll just get outspaced at the end of the day. A lot of these weapons are gonna outspace it. This one's really like faster, maybe. I wish the Puzzling Sword special attack was faster. Surprisingly, I do get caught by this. Maybe it's just because I'm bad, but it catches me. Although it does not do too much poise damage. Definitely the R2 running attack, one-handed running attack, that will knock people out of poise, especially with the stone ring. So it's not that bad. Here's another strength weapon. Let's put that in there somewhere. This weapon, Mannequin Knife, definitely it's an S tier weapon. It's a dagger. We might have to put that in between here and here. Whip running R1. Ooh, someone should make that a mod. What's happening with ultras? Okay, we have a strength column. It is gonna be its own separate little tier list. We will organize this after we get done with all the weapons, but for now, strength, we are just kind of putting everything in strength. So we will get to strength later, don't worry. I'm just kind of, since there's so many weapons, I need to clear it out so I can just see what's going on. So don't worry, we're gonna get to strength weapons. Manslayer. Okay, actually, Manslayer has a good range. Unfortunately, the damage is not very good. 2 of them are dex weapons. Yeah, well, typically they're like the slow move set. Okay, well that's a good point. It's a good point. We'll figure that out later. Okay, Manslayer. Let's talk about Manslayer for a second. Manslayer, If you infuse it with poison, it can poison people very, very fast. It has the same moveset as like Uchigatana, I believe. Yeah, it's like the same exact moveset as Uchigatana. Oh, maybe it might be a little bit different, but it's very good, no doubt. It's longer than the Dark Drift, so we will definitely put it over there. This is, okay, like I said in the beginning, we got some new people coming in. This is the radwalls tier list, so obviously this isn't going to be completely dead on. I am mixing in a bit of like what is cool and what is stylish for me, like what I would want to use, what I can beat with what as I'm layering it. So we will organize it. We will make sure it's all up to snuff. Don't worry. But for now, we're just moving and grooving, everybody. Okay, don't worry. We're messing with strength later. In fact, okay, since people are talking about strength, let's move to strength real quick. Okay, strength. ICUG's definitely number one. If that's like a quality weapon, we're just kind of this. It's like the slower moving move set. If I was using a strength build, I'd probably use that, or a custom like slow moving moveset build. If you kind of see what I'm saying, that's what I'm putting down. Okay, next to it we have Fugs. Fugs has a lot of tech. Fugs, you can do this thing where people try and hit you with their sword, and they like do the crazy bonk animation. Very, very good weapon. It hits like a truck, obviously, if you can backstab people with it. Of course, you beat them in like 2 hits. Great sword. This is controversial. I think this game has the best great sword out of all of the games. Maybe in Elden Ring, you could argue before the patch, the crouch poking thing, or yeah, whatever. This weapon, after people started stance swapping, went from like bottom to like top. Okay, the stance swap on the greatsword is nuts, where you can hit the attack down, you can even wait for a second, all of a sudden he does the one-handed swipe. Very, very good. We will do a little bit of that later with the guts build. I got the guts build from last time. All right, then we have this, arguably, yes, it could be a dex weapon, but I don't really, I mean, yeah, you can put this on your dex builds, put this on your every build because it's a sick weapon. You can just snipe people with a laser. For now, we'll just keep it in strength just because it's kind of slow. In terms of all these slow hitting weapons, very, very good. It has that laser, so damn good. Popsicle, go back. Popsicle is in the back. Malformed Shell. Is this wait, what's it called? Yeah, Malform? Yes, Malformed Shell, really good running attack. Really good stance swappable R2s. You can do some really weird stance swaps with this thing. It has a ton of range, hits like a truck, very good. Giants, put it back. It's back there. This weapon, okay, I love this weapon. I wouldn't put it up here, but it has a really interesting weapon. This is the Gurm Great Hammer, I believe. Yes, Gurm Great Hammer. Very sick, very, very sick weapon. But unfortunately, it's not that good. Let's get back to some weapons that are better. Okay. As we kind of go down strength, not very good. However, we got a couple of weapons to move up. This weapon has a crazy backstab animation that goes way faster than some other weapons, and I believe it's this one. Is that true? Is it the Ferosa Axe, or it could be a different one that has the same very quick backstab animation? If you're just backstab fishing, this is the weapon to go for. If you got a strength build or whatever, or that weapon build, just do the backstabs because they hit so hard. I actually hit real hard with this giant's boulder thing. It's pretty nice. We have these weapons, they're okay. If you get hit by them, they have a slow moveset, not too good. If I could find some more, let's look for some more stuff. And I was just doing strength. Hi, I played DS3 PvP. Do you think DS2 is better or worse? So, that is a very, very good question, and I don't want to get too sidetracked, but for now, I personally think DS2, like I could go on for probably an hour on that question. I love that question, but for me personally, I am so much more into the Dark Souls 2 PvP just because personally when I menu swap, The number one thing is I hate seeing that lockout menu that says you cannot switch at this time or whatever. I cannot do that. So I love DS2 just because it doesn't have that lockout menu, and DS1 doesn't either, but Elden Ring has it, and the lockout menu stuff is just not really good. Of course, if you're very good and your timing is on, you'll never see that lockout menu. So it is a good, it's a very good question. I do think they designed Dark Souls 2 around the PvP. I think that they designed DS3 around the PvP as well. However, in the modern era of DS3, we have stuff like bow glitch, and I don't want to play against someone who can just all of a sudden hit me with a bow glitch, which does like 3,000 damage, and just you can rapid fire great bolts in or whatever. I don't even understand that. It's too wild. And also the whole crossbow thing where you like spin around and hit the crossbow. I know some people love that, but it's not really my favorite thing to play. As well, I do think Dark Souls 3's backstab fishing is one of the funnest things that they've made. Dark Souls 2 backstab fishing is very fun as well, but people can, it's more integrated into the game where it's like, oh, he's backstab fishing, I can kind of watch out for this. But there is more front stab in Dark Souls 2, so you gotta be kind of, it's a tough question. Parrying dagger, we're gonna keep moving. We'll get back to strength later. We like half did strength, but I don't have all those strength weapons in there, so we'll keep moving stuff in strength. Parrying dagger is very good, and if you've ever seen Dr. Shadow play, he's an old school player who I played with since the very beginning. He actually is so dang good with parrying dagger where he hits all of his parries. Yeah, exactly. Nate's completely right. Each has its own charm. Personally, I love the Prepare to Die edition Dark Souls 1. But not ER. Dude, yeah, and exactly. They are still working on ER, like they are still patching it. So I'm going to reserve my opinion on ER until it is all patched. FromSoft, get to work on that. Oh my lord, ER. Parrying dagger is very, very good. Unfortunately, yeah, if it's on the L1, if it's in your left-hand slot, it's not really good with the like little S-stock moveset. It does no poise damage. Okay, but it does do a very quick parry. I think it's faster than having like some of these rapiers in your left slot. I'd have to check that out. I actually think it's a good weapon. I'll put it in back of A tier. If you're a parry spammer, that's the weapon for you. Very nice weapon. Here's a strength weapon, very short strength weapon. I'll just put it back there somewhere. We have, what is this one? The Possessed Armor Greatsword. That one's kind of interesting. It has like its own self buff. I'll put it in somewhere in B tier. It doesn't have it has the broadsword moveset and not a very good moveset, so we'll just put it somewhere there. Pickaxe, unfortunately, I guess we could put that in strength. Pickaxe is okay. It's probably quality at the end of the day. Shottle is pretty bad weapon. We'll even put that behind the falchion. It does hit behind shields just barely. It doesn't really, you know, people can still hold the shield up and it doesn't stun them out of shield, so that's something to think about. They can still like poke you behind the shield while you're trying to do it. I believe, maybe that's not right. Drakekeeper's Hammer, S tier. Where is the Drakekeeper's Hammer? Is it up there? Wait. Okay, wait, where is that? Okay, Chicken Wing. This might be controversial. Chicken Wing is S tier strength, okay? We're just ordering strength if anyone didn't see. What's up, Dolos? Tier list. Yeah, I know. Okay, if anyone didn't know, and you're just coming in, strength. I'm just gonna put this as separate. Can I just rename this? Separate list. Okay, just so you know. Strength, separate list. I spelled separate wrong. What's up, Putismo? Putissimo. GG, nice to have you in. Thanks for the follow. And yeah, how's everyone doing tonight, by the way? Thanks for coming in, thanks for watching. We're doing a little tier list today, something different, something relaxing. Got the ambient music. It's a nice Saturday evening for myself. Good to see you guys. And I spelled separate wrong, but whatever. Okay. Chicken Wing is so good. Okay, you will burn a lot of stamina with this weapon, but it has some godlike tracking, and it also has like a 2-hit stun. When you lock onto someone and you hit that running attack, it does like a and you can get that hit. It's very nice. Thank you, Petissimo. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, we're just chilling today. We will kind of hit up some maybe blues later if anyone's down. I'm gonna do the guts build. I need to upgrade my damn armor because I realized last stream that I had +0 on my whole armor. So, you know, it's a struggle out here. You get destroyed by people. Okay, Lost Sinner, unfortunately, is not very good. We will put that back here. And actually, what is this? Wait. Pursuers. So Lost Sinner and Pursuers are very good, and I must have thought this was a different weapon. I'm sorry. I thought that was the Varangian sword. The chicken wing leaping attack has great distance on it. Dude, the chicken wing is actually amazing. I actually, that's the only weapon where I feel like I'm playing Armored Core or something. It has this weird feeling to it, and you can pancake people. It just pancakes everyone. Of course, there are ways around it. People can just circle around you, backstab you, all this stuff. So it's okay. Maybe we'll put it behind Fugs. Behind Fugs, maybe behind Greatsword, but again, this is sort of Radwall's tier list, so it is gonna be skewed to what I like. So we will keep moving. Here's a weird hammer thing. I don't know, it breaks kind of easily, doesn't have the best moveset. Yeah, it's okay. All right, we have another halberd here. Put it next to the halberds. Some of the halberds are good, some of them are okay. It just depends. I'll put them all sort of in B. That one-handed running attack, again, is always very good. Large club, it's okay, somewhere there. Zweihander, Eno Oak is amazing. What is that? I'm sorry, I just don't know what, maybe it's an acronym. But yeah, we will figure it out, Okay, Trey, we got the Zweihander, and that's up there. If anyone doesn't know, with these sort of regular hitting, we'll put it above the Drakewing. I like it better. Oh, Old Knight Hammer. Yeah, I mean, it just depends. If you get like a backstab with any of these, they're very good. You're right, this does have a nice R2. So we'll put it somewhere around here. You're right. And if I sort of move these up, we still have to reorder strength. Let me just get all the strength weapons in there so we can talk about it. Okay, we only have one Santier's Spear. And that is, it looks like it's the unbroken one. However, it's not. I'm gonna pretend this is the broken Santier Spear. It is S tier, one of the best weapons in the game. It has the wackiest moveset. It's like a twin blade, a curved sword, and spear all in one. And like it has really good moveset. Crazy range. We're gonna put it here just because it kind of gets outclassed by a lot of these weapons. But we'll get back to it. I think any pancake weapon deserves to be up in tier list for strength. It's true. It's a lot of the times you go up with your strength build up against the people with the S tier stuff. So we have to account for that. But we will get back to it. Okay, this weapon is that poison weapon. And if used by the right guy, I'm gonna say that's top of A tier. This is a crazy weapon. It's called the Sanctum Mace. I keep inspecting because there are so many weapons in this game that my mind is getting lost. Sanctum Mace, if you have the proper setup, you have those gloves on, you have the ring on, boom, and you do that running attack, people get insta-poisoned. You will get poisoned yourself as well because that's the nature of the hammer, we could call it, but this is kind of a weapon where you can cheese someone out. You can cheese someone out with that, and I'll put it top of A. It's pretty good. I'm not sure how good the running attacks, to be honest. I haven't used it, but it's been used on me quite a bit, and it's hard to play around. Make sure you guys have Poison Moss on that one because dang, you will get messed up. Okay, Smelters. I personally love Smelters. We're gonna put Smelters, both of the blue and the red, next to the Zweihander. They don't have as much range as the Zweihander, but these have a cool thing where you can R2 and cancel if you do the timing correctly, and you leave a little flame trail wherever you go. I think it's freaking cool. I'm sorry, just because of Fashion Souls, those go up there. Those are up, okay? Those are up in the list. We have this weapon, which is the Royal Greatsword. It's so short. Honestly, it's in E. I cannot get this weapon to work correctly. So short. Maybe it does bleed or something. Not very good. I'm not a huge fan. Okay, we have like I think this is either the Wing Spear. Oh, this is actually the Partisan. And the Partisan is actually up there. I like the Partisan, but it's not as good as some of this stuff. We'll put it as solid B. Some of this stuff just wrecks it. I'm not sure about this. So we're gonna reorganize, but it's somewhere in there, so we're not too obsessing about it too much. This one is actually the Scythe, and the Scythe, I would say, just because of Fashion Souls, it's up there, but it has the same running attack as all these other ones, so we'll put it like top of the halberds here. somewhere in there. Not as good, I believe, the R2s. I believe it's all the same. So it's, yeah, it's just, all the halberds are kind of the same. I don't believe there's a halberd with a really like a different moveset, and they just kind of hit differently, so it's kind of different damages, I mean, so it's kind of like hard to know exactly what it is, depending on your build and all this, everything. Thorned Greatsword. Any weapon with a projectile I am so into, and I'm gonna put that in A tier somewhere. This one, I managed to hit people with that laser so much. This is actually the Mirror Knight's Greatsword, if you guys don't know. It's a little bit shorter, but it still hits pretty hard, and it has projectile laser lightning shots on the R2s. It's somewhere in A tier. I like it a lot. This weapon, unfortunately, is not very good, but it is the same as the halberd moveset. We'll put it near the bottom. Actually, yeah, this is the one with like the different moveset, and that's kind of not a good thing. Seemed like there's a lot of viable weapons in DS3. There's like 5. In DS3, there's like 5. Very, yes. Seems like there's a lot of viable weapons in DS2, but in DS3 there's like 5. Yeah, dude, I completely agree. I remember trying to use a lot of stuff in DS3 and not getting too lucky with it. Yeah, I mean, straight swords are killer in DS3. That R1 combo is, you can just R1 spam, and it's pretty viable, you know, and there's so many times, like for me, DS3 is, there's so much stamina there, so you can just go forever. It's pretty wild, pretty wild. We have a, I believe this is either like Spider Silk, or what is this one? Black Scorpion Stinger. I mean, Dark Sword is nonsense. Could be, yeah. Dark Sword was even better in DS3 than I think they patched it, didn't they? They patched it. A long time ago, yeah. Okay, I found another one, guys. Warp Sword. This is a contender, okay? This is a contender. Best sword in the game. We might have to put the Warp Sword as best sword in the game. It might be up there with the Longsword, and I think that's insane. But this sword is one of the only curved swords that does that really fast one-handed shrink, right? The regular R1 has a crazy hard to dodge reaction time. It's very, very good. You can hunt people down with it. You can buff it with Dark or whatever, and it does 1 billion damage. Very sick weapon. Very, very good weapon. It's probably the best weapon in the game. Hide Knight Sword. Unfortunately, it's not that good. Maybe it's back of A tier. It has a nice R2. So if you connect on that R2, you can get the follow-up. But yeah, a lot of these weapons outclass it, outspace it. Doesn't have the best R1 running attack. I mean, the R1 running attack is probably one of its best features. It's somewhere around B tier. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So we're gonna do the Varangian Sword, and I have the Sinners and the Pursuers, and I'll get to those in a second. Okay, Varangian Sword again. It's okay. This does have the sweeping R2, so we have to factor that in. But it will get outclassed on the running attacks. You just won't have the ability. Maybe this is good as a sidearm, or you have a different weapon in your left hand. Somewhere around the back here, it's okay. Hey, and thanks for the follow, Hagabilly. How's it going? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. We're just hanging out today. We're doing a tier list. It's like this is actually very nice for me. Sanyo-ific, what's up? Thank you for the follow. And back to these halberds. Yeah, here's another weapon. I'm not really sure if it does better or not. Like I need to do a halberd day. Let's be honest. Okay, halberds I'm not too knowledgeable about, so we're just putting halberds all together. And that halberd, I know people have hit me pretty hard with it, but I'm not sure how good they are. Of course, the one-handed running attack, like I've said 5 times during this, is pretty dang good. It's pretty dang good. Let's go to these weapons. I'll put these in strength just cause why not? This is the Sinner's Sword and the Pursuer's Greatsword. Both of these Fashion Souls are out of control. Fashion, I am kind of putting on there just because Fashion. Peak Souls 2, what's up, GXN? Thanks for coming in. Yes, we are peaking right now on this tier list. And again, I've been told that it's very hard to make a tier list for this game because if you factor in what weapon is in your right hand, what weapon is in your left hand while you're using whatever weapon. There's like a billions of combinations of different tier, like I'm not really, if I had, let's say, a tier list with like, okay, warp sword and longsword, you know, that would be the best weapon in the game. But if you have like warp sword and broadsword, then yeah, it's good, but it's not as good. So there's like a billion combinations. We're just going on the single weapon. Sanyo says, dude, I want to buy Dark Souls 2. Do you recommend me to buy? I absolutely recommend you to buy it. It is the game, one of the Souls games where you can just almost schmoove to take a term from Smash Brothers Melee. It almost feels like you are schmooving when you are in the arena and you're moving around and you doing these weapon stance swaps, all this stuff. It feels great. It feels a lot of great inside of you. But it does take a bit to get used to. And some people are saying, oh, the movement sucks. Don't believe them. You got to put the time in. I've been putting a lot of work into this game, a lot of time, and it is a great game. GXN said, I used Lightning Mace my whole first playthrough. So this is a PvP tier list. Just to put that out there, I should have labeled that, but it is a PvP tier list. But PvE, yes, it is a little different. And Arkson saying, the people who cry about the game are just mad they can't roll spam and match run like the later games. It is wild. And Sanyu said, I want to buy that one and Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a lot of fun, like it's a great open world experience. It's cool. But the PvP, they are still working on it, right? They're still putting a lot of work on the PvP. I believe, I hope. And I want to come back to what Arkson said, and that's exactly right. It's funny because I see people who beat Elden Ring and they come back to Dark Souls 1 and it's like they can't beat the gargoyles. So each of these games has its own challenge, but especially Dark Souls 2, especially when you're doing PvP, every roll, every missed, every panic roll, every wrong R1, you will get punished. So it's almost like, you know, there's a defending, waiting game. Yeah, so Ice Rapier is in S tier. It is the 4th best weapon. And right now I buy Bioshock. Bioshock is one of the best first-person shooters of all time. That is such a good weapon. The Bioshock weapon. That'd be cool if they had like a grenade launcher in this game. In Dark Souls 2. Oh, we found a crossbow. I'm gonna reorganize these later, but for now it kind of looks like this. We're gonna get to this. Okay, Shadow Dagger. We're getting back to this. We're almost done. Shadow Dagger, one of the best weapons in the game. It is an S tier weapon for PvP, of course, but it's great to have in one of your, in your offhand, or even as your swappable weapon. Like if you push your D-pad, that's a good weapon. All these are great. You can backstab people really quick with these daggers. They are very good. You can get an extra hit, almost like tons of stuff combos. So if you do like an R1 with your battle axe and then you hit your dagger real quick, that's a true combo. So there's tons of true combos in this game. Yeah, definitely. Bioshock's a great game. It's just like a beautiful game. I remember the first time I played that and it was just amazing. Just amazing. Okay, Washing Pole. Washing Pole unfortunately has that very long, not as quick as the other katanas, has a ton of range, right? So it's better than the Elan Knight Sword, but we're gonna put it up here. I could probably beat the halberds with it. Where it gets kind of messed up is with these. Oh, is this? That's the High Knight Spear. Okay, probably the High Knight Spear is where I'm getting crushed by this, and High Knight Spear probably could get moved up. And we're gonna refine this as we move on. So I'll just keep moving and grooving. We have the Stone Knight Spear. That one is actually very, very dang good. I might want to say S tier. I think I'm gonna keep it out of S tier just because I need to do some more preliminary testing on this. But the Stone Soldier Spear is pretty freaking good. Bioshock Infinite was a disappointment. I completely agree, especially when they showed off the fact that you'll be able to like jump from those railing to the other railing and go down, and it was like this open world idea, and then they just scrapped that or something, and at least create like an area where you can do that open world thing in Bioshock Infinite, but they just made it like this linear experience. No. Oh, that was just so disappointing. I was so sad. No, we're not doing staffs. Not doing staffs. Let's see what else we got here. Sorcerer's Twin Blade. I believe we already did that one. I just had a... It was like a... I have some repeat icons here. I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Mexico's awesome. Yeah, thanks. We're on the West Coast. West Coast homies, everybody. But if you're from any part of the world, we love you. We love Reflections. Good to have you in. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, we're just starting out here. We had a great stream last time. Aha. And we're gonna keep streaming. Here we go, though. We found the Uchigatana. Now, the Uchigatana is one of the best weapons in the game, competing for probably the 5th spot here. Uchigatana you can use on a lot of different builds. Unlike the Black Steel Katana, which is right next to it, you don't have to upgrade all of your decks, which I learned recently. You can just go for this. The moveset's crazy. It has a very good moveset. You can stand swap the R1s. In Dark Souls 1, the Uchigatana was better. Uchigatana in Dark Souls 1 is very, very good. That might be like second best or maybe one of the best. It's so different in this game though, but in this game I've learned very, very, very good, especially with the adaptation of everyone stance swapping these days, which if you don't know what stance swapping is, it's like changing your moveset while you're attacking. You do an attack, but you can do a two-handed running and then do a hit with your left hand after that. So it's an amazing thing that we have in the game now. Aldo, I want to buy Doom 64. Yeah, Doom 64. Wait, for Nintendo 64? Oh, what's up, Salokin Music, my #1 mod in the chat. Thank you for coming in. Well, I don't want to say #1 because we have Rational Emma. That is our other beautiful mod. She is amazing. Okay, this weapon's actually dang good. This is that we're moving forward on this tier list, guys. We are moving forward. We will go over this later. That's the Silver Black Spear, okay? Silver Black. Thing actually kind of hits like a truck. I could probably beat a ton of these weapons with it. And even here, I'm gonna put it back of A. Very good weapon. Yes! Dang, we got Mexican homies in here. Good to have you guys in. Yes, I love the multilingual chat going on. Yeah, we're doing great, Celican. We just had ran errands all day and then we finally got back. And I was struggling to set up some memes at the last second, but I did manage to get McDonald's Wi-Fi, everyone. As you can see, that is a real picture of someone playing McDonald's playing Dark Souls inside of McDonald's. We did get McDonald's Wi-Fi set up, so we are good to go, people. Beautiful. Yeah, that's what I do. You guys don't do that. You don't go to McDonald's. Okay, controversial opinion. And again, everyone who's watching, strength is in a separate list. It's not that they're at the bottom, don't use strength. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying strength is just in a separate list. If you make a strength character, you typically use different weapons. And this weapon, the Drake Keeper's Great Axe, actually is dope. It is really cool, especially with the adaptation of stance swapping. People can barely see that you're stance swapping, and then you hit them really quick with a two-handed R1. It's kind of sick. Honestly, that is one of my favorite weapons. Really, really cool. Oh, I kind of skipped over here. Pursuer's Sword, I have been using more and more and more, even though people say, oh, those aren't good or whatever. It has a really weird moveset, doesn't really track so well. This sword, I have been having a lot of fun with it, especially with the adaptation of stance swapping. When everyone started stance swapping, boom, we have some really interesting play with this weapon. Sinner's Sword, unfortunately, I mean, it is a little bit longer, but it does take 50 damage just like all of the Chaos Blade, so we have to move it down, definitely back here. All right, we got some comments here. I want to take these in. Another thing people cry about instead of learning how to take advantage of is how to manually aim large weapons while locked on. Absolutely, and that's when you talk about the Pursuer's Sword, the Zweihander, lots of good play with that. And there's lots of techniques with the strength weapons. Break 357, thanks for coming in. Thank you for joining. Thank you for following. Great to have you in. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. This has been an awesome stream. This game may be lacking in some places, but not PvP. They seriously did such a good job with introducing power stancing, which made PvP even more fun, and the amount of variety of weapons in this game is almost on par with Elden Ring, and the PvP spots are lit. Absolutely. Best cleric weapon. Well, that's a good question. It's a good question. For me, it is that cleric hammer. I love that cleric hammer, and where we can find it. Let's find that cleric hammer. Where is it? Because you can, it uses faith. It's like a faith catalyst. Oh, where is it? There it is. This weapon's awesome. I love it. I think it's really cool. Unfortunately, just because of the nature of the game, it's going in C tier. It doesn't cast so fast, but it's pretty good. I always wanted for Alsana's room to replace Iron Keep Bridge, but I guess it's too late in the game. Yeah, no, dude, that's a premier tournament spot, actually. People use Alsana's room all the time for tournaments, and people kind of sit there with binoculars and watch from the little podium where you talk to Alsana. What's up, Chris? Chris is like, this tier list is whack. Hey, I'm trying my damn best, and this is my opinion, everybody. This is my damn opinion. Good to have you in, Chris. Thank you for coming in, buddy. And the pyromancies are fun as, yes, they are. They are as, yes. I use the Sword of the Guardian of the Throne. Yes, yes. That's a sick sword. That's a great sword. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. I'm not a huge fan of the reinforced club thing. I don't understand really how to use that. The hammers in general, as you can see, I have a, wait, where's the mace? I put it here somewhere. Yeah, anyways. I think you have a straight sword in the same tier as an ultra great axe. Do I? This one? I think that's the Pursuers. If anything's wrong, I will fix it at the end, but we are just kind of moving. There's like 200 weapons here, so I'm trying to get through it. Okay, is this the twin blade? Okay, wait a second. Yes. Unexpectedly, the twin blade is actually sick, okay? I'm putting this up there. I'm putting it up there. Maybe next to Battle Axe, I like it, next to Arc Sword. Very sick. I actually have beaten some pretty good players with this, and it's a wacky weapon. It's a wacky world out there. It doesn't take that much stamina, and you can buff it as well. I mean, it's pretty good. Yo, Wibble Dibbles with the raid. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my gosh, I wish I had. Oh yeah, we're raided. We're getting raided. Oh, we're in the dungeon. Why is this sideways? Whoa, thank you for the raid. Whoa, what's up, raiders? Oh, this one's cool. All right, yo. Thank you for the raid. I don't know why I don't have a raid alert on, but we will give you a nice McDonald's Wi-Fi, everyone. Oh, it's behind me.
Fuck.
Oh, we'll give you another one. It's so good. It's so damn good.
Fuck.
Can you believe that's a real picture of someone playing playing Dark Souls 2 inside a McDonald's? Can you believe that? Thank you for raiding, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, we're just chilling here, having a chill little Saturday night. We're getting back to the ambience, Welcome in, raiders. Thank you for coming in. That's so sick. No, thanks for raiding. Thanks. I will make sure I give you a follow, Wibble Dibbles. Oh yeah. Whoa, what is this game? That's like almost looks like Dark Souls. Give you a follow, Wibble. That looks awesome. That looked fun. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we're just chilling, and now I'm sorry, give me a second here, people. How do you do this? Oh, I can expand the chat? Yes, perfect. Okay, we're getting back to it. Oh, let me just catch up with chat real quick. Code Vein! Anime Bloodborne. Okay, sick. Code Vein 2, when please? Clunky anime souls? Yeah, that's slashy souls for sure. That is some slashy. Okay, we will. I'm getting worried that there's a straight sword somewhere with ultras. I will fix that. I don't know. Some of these. Yeah, DS2 is so good. It's so good. But I recommend anyone who's playing DS2 to join the Orange Arena Discord as well. I wish I had a link. I wish Birds was here. If someone has a link for Orange Arena, please post it. I need to make that. And also my Discord, maybe I should get that out too. We'll do it later, I don't know, just enjoy the stream. But anyone who's interested in DS2 PvP, join the Orange Arena. Hit up Body of Birds for that. That's one of my mods. She runs that place, I think, with some other people. Have you played the Callisto Protocol? No, I haven't. Have you tried all the weapons? Yes, I have. I have tried all the weapons. And it is funny because some of these are amazing. Bobo Birds. Yes, yes, we have tried all the weapons. We're trying all these. We've done it all. Oh, this is the one. Okay, this isn't a strength weapon. I get. Is it? Maybe. I don't know. This weird halberd hammer thing. It's okay. Drakekeeper's War Pick. You can do a really fast backstab on this thing, which just elevates it up there. Might even be better than my favorite greatsword here. Brotherhood of Blood, of Birds, Babs, Craftsman Hammer, and Blacksmith Hammer, some of my favorites. Ooh, I did you dirty, Wibbles. I'm sorry. They're in the F sphere. Yes. I'm sorry about that, but I did do you dirty. Not my favorite. I don't know why. Thief Dagger. I'm using this one currently on my build, and it's up there. I mean, it's just very good. You can always get a little bit of damage. Yeah, to each our own. This is, again, the radwalls tier list. I did not consult with the council. I did not consult with the council of Dark Souls 2 sages to get their opinion, so I'm going out on a limb, and I might even be under threat. No, I'm kidding. I wish claws were usable. I know, they're so bad. If I'm not interested in the Catalyst for Miracles, is the Cleric Mace still the best weapon? Yeah, no, because you can infuse anything with lightning, and I believe or faith, right? Someone needs to let me know. Someone needs to help out Adelard on that. And if Body of Birds was here, she would really help you out on that. I really haven't played too many faith builds. Yeah, the broken Santiers, it just, I don't know where the icon went. It's not there, so we're gonna pretend that it's here. It's actually an S tier, and that is, we're getting close to the finish line here. We're getting close, but there's still like 100 weapons here, so we're gonna go fast. All right, and I'm not really doing bows this time. I don't really use bows. I don't know. Great Club, somewhere in the strength there. We'll just put it in the middle. It's okay. This sword, they're basically both the same. Both of the Astora swords, just put them there. We have the Watcher's Greatsword. Fist S tier. It is pretty good. You can finish people off with that. Watcher's Sword. Next to Defenders, I wouldn't really say they're too different. Maybe it's longer, so it's better. Again, range and spacing is so good in these games. What is this weapon? Retainer Staff. We're not doing staffs. We have a lot of scythes here. I'm just gonna do those real quick. Nashandras, kind of hard to use, especially if you, I don't know, I remember getting really messed up by this weapon, but I never see people use it anymore. I think it's because it has a lot of stat requirements, and it's sort of like a weird weapon. It's kind of back of A, maybe B tier. It's okay. It's okay. I think people have learned about on that one. This thing, I'll put the scythes. I'm gonna just disperse like the dark shards of Manus. Let's see. The only bow I use the Avalon or the Sanctum Repeater for runners. Yeah, so those are the crossbows, and we are doing crossbows because I love crossbows. I use them a lot, and I like first of all, Avalon's probably my favorite. I like it the best, just because of the old Haviland days. You know, those were great days. Where there was like a guy with a Havel armor with 2 crossbows shooting at the same time. Don't you just miss that, everyone? That was so amazing. They patched it out. If you guys have seen the original, already I'm headed out. No worries. Absolutely. Thanks for coming in. No problem at all. For anybody who's watching, if you guys gotta run, you guys gotta do things, don't feel the need that you gotta stick around. We are just a chill little stream here. We might play later. Avalon adjusted. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's just because it looks kind of the coolest. The Pursuer's Crit brings it up a level. That would be a great point. I'm hesitant to say because it's not all about crits, and especially if you have the Pursuers out. That's a good point though, Tarkus. Really good point. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for chatting. What is this weapon? Drake Blood Greatsword. Again, it's just a greatsword. Doesn't really have a lot of range. It's kind of next to the Drangleic sword. It's okay. But yeah, it's really, this is a PvP focused list, and it also is my list, so it is probably going to be different than a lot of people's. Okay, this one might be controversial as well. Cian's spear is better. It's there. It's in the back of S tier, but it is so dang good. You cannot parry it. Can't parry I think the R2s. It just is, it's a great weapon to just, you sit there, wait for him to attack, hit, go back. It has a really good R2 actually. It has a crazy sweep, and it's non-parryable, and it's like a spear. It's really, really good. Really, really good. Mastodon halberd. I actually think this one might be one of the better halberds. We'll put it near the top. I like the Mastodon the most probably. But again, it's all still a little bit B. I believe it's a strength weapon, so technically it goes in strength. We can just change this name from strength to slow. There, that's gonna hopefully appease everyone. Slow ass weapons are going here, okay? Slow ass weapons. The days of Helix and Mastodon halberds with dark weapon and resin. I know, there was so many weird metas that happened. Regular rapier, people are probably really familiar with this weapon because it is a PvE weapon. You don't see it so often in PvP. Maybe that's wrong, maybe I don't personally see it that much. But again, this moveset is very good. It's not like it's a bad moveset, so we'll put it in, let's say, maybe there. Put it there. And yeah, we have some slow weapons up here. We'll fix this as we keep going. Maybe this is a cringe list, but maybe it isn't. Rampart Golem Lance. This is icy, okay? This is kind of sick. You can get that halberd, or not, sorry, you get the lance running attacks. I mean, what's better than that? Put it next up. It's really top of A tier. The lances are very good in this game. Very, very good. Okay, this one is a big one. Yorg's Spear, everyone. Yorg's Spear is the best weapon in the game. That might be controversial, but I think it has one of the highest skill ceilings in the game. Unfortunately, it's very heavy. Unfortunately, it is very slow in some senses, but the rolling attack and the two-handed running attack are, first of all, the two-handed running attack is straight up broken. Especially on noobs, this weapon is like a destroyer. If someone has no idea what this weapon does, you're in for a good time. It could either be this. Either it's like 4 or 1. So I'll just keep it at 1. It's really, really, really good. Yorg's Spear, one of the best weapons. Sun Sword, really good weapon. It's one of the best weapons. So we'll put that up there as well. I kind of would probably prefer the, and I think it's around here. Okay, Sun Sword, just because it doesn't have that sweeping R2, doesn't really do what you want it to do. You want that sweeping thing, but it hits like a truck. It's a beautiful weapon. We have this weird twin blade Panda Squadron 69. Thank you for the follow. And man, I would really like to know why my raid alert is not working. That's so sad. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, like the random twin blades, they're kind of C tier. Okay. P999E, thank you for the follow. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Spitfire Spear. Okay, this is gonna be controversial again. This is a projectile weapon that you can kind of cancel it and get a little swag flame that comes out. That being said, it shoots that flame so slow, but it has like a regular spear moveset, okay? Better than Channeler's Trident, that's for sure. What is this, by the way? Washing pole? Yeah, I could beat the washing pole with this. I could beat all this stuff with it, yeah. I mean, this should be down, excuse me. Yeah, some of this stuff, it gets placed and then it's just gonna get jumbled as we go. There's so many dang weapons in this game. Okay, this is the Espada Ropera, I believe. Yes, Espada Ropera. It just has the regular rapier moveset as well as the parry. yeah, I don't like to focus too much on parries. We can put it next to that other, I believe it was like the, what was it, Sinner or something? Oh. It's getting to that point. It's getting to that point where there's, all of a sudden there's so many weapons here. There, we'll just put it somewhere here. That moveset in general isn't bad, but there's just some weapons like, why wouldn't you use the S-Talk? Why would you use that over the S-Talk? Maybe you want to parry a lot. I'm not really into parrying, and I think it kind of sets you up for some problems later if you focus too much on parrying. So don't parry that much, guys, but it's still really good. Mitha's Bent Blade, okay, that does poison damage. We'll just put it in A tier somewhere. It's a dagger at the end of the day. It's very good. This barbed club, I'm not a huge fan of the club moveset. For me, it's a C tier type of deal. It still does a ton of damage, more than some of the stuff. I don't really know how to do the club stuff. Don't know how to do it. Don't know how y'all do it. Short sword. Okay, this weapon, at the end of the day, excuse me, still has the straight sword moveset, so it is better than Varangian sword in some ways. So we'll just put it there. You can still kind of get people going. You can still really mess people up with a straight sword, so never underestimate that weapon. This weapon, the Ricard Rapier, unfortunately not too good in this game. Actually, was Ricard Rapier even good in any of the games? I mean, it has the same moveset that we were talking about. Maybe it's better. I would probably rather go for the parry. It's funny, it's not that good. But at the end of the day, it is a rapier style weapon, so it's very good. This hook thing, so bad. Maybe it's worse than the ladle. I don't know about that hook. Who's using the hook? Oh, this is kind of a better weapon. So, okay, we have definitely at the top of the halberds, this one has like a dark attack. Work hook, so bad. Putismo is asking, do you only do duels or do you also do invasions? At the moment, I'm not doing invasions, but that's because I didn't get a chance to set up Blue Sentinel. I'm just slowly going on this because oh man, setting up the stream, it's a lot of work. So I'm gonna set up Blue Sentinel soon. And if you guys don't know, Blue Sentinel is a mod that you should all get. It just came out, the updated version. It allows you to see if you're getting, hacked or whatever. It'll stop any hackers in their tracks, apparently, and you can also see who you're fighting. It'll show you what level they are and stuff. It's really cool. So if you're fighting like an 838 or stuff. Ryan Berry, CG, thanks for coming in. I love to do CG as well. I just finished up a CG thing, which wasted so much of my time, but now here I am. Hand axe, unfortunately, it doesn't really do as good as like the hand axe in Dark Souls 1, where it has that really quick, like, even in Dark Souls 3, the hand axe is better. I'm gonna put it down here. It's like a short, oh, I'm sorry, thank you, Arkson. Blue Acolyte. Yep, I got the universes mixed up. That was not very lore-centric of me. Excuse me while we take a drink. I don't have a hydrate, so you guys have to just bear with me while I just hydrate all the time. Yeah, Blue Sentinel is great in DS3, so Blue Acolyte, perfect in blue in Dark Souls 2. And I believe they made it so you can't get item injected anymore, which is like a really crazy bad thing. Make sure you back up your saves, that's all I gotta say. And actually I should do that before I start playing the game. Okay, we have the Spider Fang. I got some love for the Spider Fang. I think if you are good at this weapon, you might be able to make people fat roll. For some reason, I get hit by this a lot. People don't really know how to use it. We'll put it maybe above some of this stuff. I like the little cool attack on it, okay? I like the Spider Fang. Blue Acolyte defaults to auto backing up 5 saves. Yeah, exactly. Guys, go get Blue Acolyte because people still hack in this game quite a bit, and it's never fun. It's never fun. Well, we're almost done. Okay, Wing Spear. I mean, it's like a pretty good spear. I'm not like a huge fan of the spear moveset. I'd probably rather take the Partisan, but we'll put it in B tier. It's pretty good. Spears are really good. This weapon's kind of cool. I'd say it's better than the Partisan. Still kind of B tier. It's the oh my gosh, I have to look it up now. The Gargoyle Bident. Yes, bidental. It'll mess up your teeth, that's for sure. This is a dagger. I wouldn't say it's the best dagger. We'll put it next to that other dagger in here. It just does so little damage. The crits are okay, But then again, if you're getting crits, why don't you crit with something else? It's a dagger though, the moveset. The rolling attacks though are severely nerfed compared to some of these other ones. So I wouldn't recommend this one. It does look cool. It's out of the Iron Keep DLC. Where is that other dagger? Where is it? I'll put it next to this one. They're both kind of similar. Okay, we have this weird weapon, which is like that. I don't know. It's like an E tier weapon. It's not too good. Not too good. This kind of weird broadsword style weapon with the yellow on it. We'll put it next to below Varangian. It's still kind of good because it has R1s, like straight sword R1s, which are pretty good. You can't get parried though. It's kind of wild. Let's see, we have a lot of whips here. Whips are all sort of the same. They all belong in probably the same place, somewhere in B tier. We'll just put them up here in B tier. Probably under halberds. I don't know. Yeah, yellow quartz sword. Absolutely. Was that like a DLC weapon or something? It's okay. It's alright. Like you get it for getting the DLC or something. Pre-order weapon. Yeah. It's alright. Nothing to shake your fist at. So that's a regular whip. What's this one? Old whip. So obviously the old whip is the best. It has the least durability, but it does a ton of damage. And if you're at any PvP level, you probably have 10 old whips that you can just switch, through. And if you break one, it's not a big deal. Scimitars are very good, especially like the regular scimitar. I find it actually is a little bit better than the falchion. So let's find the falchion. I think it's here. Just the warp sword, the reason why it's up there is because of that R1 one-handed attack. So freaking good. So we will organize this as we go. These red iron weapons, they're somewhere in B tier. This one, let's put around here. It kind of has an interesting, this one's the curved sword, and this one's the straight sword, let's see which one's the curve. Red Rust Scimitar. So let's put that, I like it probably the most out of these. Probably does the most damage. Red Rust Sword. Again, it's cool, but it's kind of a weird move set. Let's put the Red Rust Sword probably in front. Some of the, when we get down to the wire here, it's not going to be easy. Meju Scimitar. It's getting difficult. Okay, we have this weapon. It's really good. I wouldn't say it's S tier. The Royal Dirk or whatever this thing is. I'm going to say it's top of A though. It's really good. You can just spam on people and get a ton of damage. Very good weapon. This Ferosa Iron Great Axe, we're going to put this in strength and it's pretty bad, unfortunately. It doesn't have a lot of range. The backstab is really slow compared to this other Great Axe thing, this Gurm Great Axe. You can just pound on people. This is probably the worst whip. So just because it's the worst whip, I have to bump it down probably top of C tier. I don't know who uses those thorned whips. Tell me if it's good or not. Okay, this weapon, the anime Ryu Fist weapon called the Bone Fist. Let's put it in A tier, probably top of A tier. You can't, maybe somewhere middle A tier. You can get really hit by this at random if someone has it in their other hand. It's kind of a weird weapon where it sometimes can throw you off. We're almost to the end here. I believe this is a halberd. There's a lot of halberds. This one breaks easily, so put it in the back. Remember when people would invade you and hack that moveset onto their character before the DLC was out? Oh, the Bone Fist? Yeah, I think I remember that. They got in the project files or something. Dude, you've been around, Arkson. Remember this weapon? The Monastery Scimitar? This was another weapon that was severely patched out of the game in a way. It's severely nerfed. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this weapon still kind of packs a punch with those really weird R2s. I actually kind of dig this weapon. I'm definitely gonna put it better than these daggers. I like this weapon. It's pretty good. You can hit like a 4-hit combo on it. The Monastery? Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's actually really good. Excuse me. Hit the keyboard there. All right, this is not in the game. This is like the Dark Souls 3 spear. What is this? I think it's the same thing. Just regular spear. I mean, yeah. Somewhere here. We're getting to the end here. Getting to the end. The instant parry frames. I'd have to do some testing. This weapon's crazy. It's a great sword, but if you have like over 1 million souls, it does a crazy damage. Just for that, it's very long. It's actually a pretty cool looking weapon too. I think it has a lot of stat requirements, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna put it top of the B great swords here. Unless I have great swords up there. I don't think. And Hide Knight, ugh, we're gonna move that down. We have to move that down. Somewhere there. After Washing Pole, possibly. I believe it is the Vendrick Ruler's Sword. So if you have 1 million souls, it does more damage apparently, or like or 1 billion souls. I think there's some sort of chart out there that'll show you, but it does more damage based on how many souls you have, which is kind of cool. I think it's like lore based, you know, it's a cool thing. But now we have this green sword, 1 million. Yes, Tarkus is right. I believe it. I believe we're both right. This one is a great sword, but unfortunately, it just doesn't really hit with the damage. We're gonna put it next down here in these kind of C tier great swords, and I guess I could have done like that type of great sword and C. To really get a perfect tier list, you might want to judge everything accordingly. But this is the whole game. This is the whole game's weapons. We're doing it. We're going for it. The big bell thing. Let's put it here. We're gonna get back to strength in a second. This weapon's kind of like a short axe. We'll put it next to the hand axe. Still not very good. We have this weird dragon pick somewhere in C tier. It's not that good. I'm not a huge fan. Unfortunately, that might make people sad. We're gonna keep moving. Cestus. With roll punching moves it up. But for the most part, you get stuck in that Cestus animation and you can get spaced out with anything. So roll punching, if you know how to roll punch and you're very, very patient for that type of playstyle and you're willing to get a lot of hate mail, you can go B tier. Somewhere, probably above the short sword. Okay, we're moving through this. Almost done. And let's see what else we have here. This weird whip, I can't really call it. Tater Tots, thank you for the follow. Thank you. What's going on? Put this in the back. I don't even really know what it does. I think it's like, that's the spotted whip. Okay. Spotted whip might be one of the better whips. If you have it in both your hands, 2 spotted whips, boom, you can poison people. Maybe it's one of the better whips. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Sorry, I apologize. What is this? Retainer staff, we don't want that. So we're just gonna put stuff at the bottom that we don't want. Staffs, we're not gonna look at. Staff, we're not looking at staffs. This is a bad icon. This is the Spider Silk, I believe. Spider Silk, I think it has a special attack. Can someone confirm that? I don't know. If so, we'll just put it with these other sort of like B tier. If it has a special attack, then please let me know, but I'm not sure on that one. Retainer short sword. So the one that shoots the spider web is that curved sword. Maybe there's a curved sword and... Yeah, okay, so if it does shoot the spider web, I would say... So, oh look, I actually put them right next to each other, which is pretty funny. They both shoot that little makes you fat roll, and I like it. I think I'm here for it, okay? That's B tier, maybe bottom of B tier, but it's still pretty fun. I think you can actually do some damage with that. Okay, Majestic Greatsword. If you guys don't know, you put this in your left hand and you get a completely different moveset. Let's move it here. I'm a huge fan of this weapon, okay? I'm not gonna lie, this is a really good weapon. I'll put it up here with my favorite greatswords. Probably like the Flamberge better, but again, you can power stance this thing, get some really interesting movesets. I think we're sleeping on the Majestic Greatsword. I think there's some more to that. There's something else you can do with it. We need to really inspect it, but I think it's a great weapon. It's a great weapon. Let's keep moving. This, I know the icon is horrible, but it's the Mastodon Greatsword. I think it's one of the better greatswords. So we'll put it around here in B tier where greatswords belong. Moonlight Greatsword, I think, is one of the better big great swords. Sorry, I just think it's one of the better great swords. It belongs in A. It's a really good sword. Keeping it up, we have this mannequin. We'll just put it here. Those are all pretty good. The mannequin saber. Those have sick fashion souls as well. So don't sleep on those. It's very good, very, very good weapons with the curved sword moveset. Again, we got chimes we're not doing, and we're not doing bows, unfortunately. We're not doing bows. Because I don't really use bows too much. It's not really my playstyle. This weird pontoon, Pilgrim's Pontoon, I think whoever's asking about Faith builds, this one does Faith and Pyro or something? I'm not too sure on it, but and we'll put it in C tier. I think that's kind of cool. It's like a fun build you can make out of that. I think we have some duplicates here. Retainer Short Sword. Retainer Short Sword, did I already do that? Maybe not. If not, I believe that Retainer Short Sword is one of the best weapons if it's a dagger. Can someone tell me? Or if not, I'm putting it just in A. We'll put it somewhere there in A. Twin Blade? Twin Blade's so high. We'll put Twin Blade down a rack because it's not that good. And again, I'm going to refine it right now. What is this? What is this? Oh, that's the Morningstar. Morningstar is not very good. Unfortunately, it's not good. Maybe there's someone out there who knows how to use the Morningstar better than me. Just based on swag, we're putting it in F. Probably kind of like top of F. It is a dagger. I'm gonna have to get, I honestly haven't played with it too much, but we'll do that actually when we get in. We're gonna mess around with some of these weapons that I am a little bit unsure of. This dumb claw, oh my god. The claws in this game are so bad. It's just so, I'd probably rather play with the ladle, like, to be honest. I don't know. Well, it's, no, I can't say that because if you two-hand them, you get some better moveset, right? So you have to think about the two-handing. Sorry about that. This shield, it is a weapon at the end of the day. It's a catalyst, so we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. No catalyst, no wands, no bows. That's a staff. Are we done here? This homunculus mace. I know that. Oh, sorry. Sorry, people. You know, Twitch, Mr. Twitch, trying to make his money. He's out here. He's out here. We'll take a little metal break. I don't know. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to ASMR everyone with that apple. But we're back. Quick little break. Had to get some apple, So clutchest Asian apple I've ever eaten. We're basically done here. I'm going to organize the slow weapons, also known as kind of the strength weapons. I'm gonna organize it right the frick now. Did we do Homunculus Mace? Homunculus Mace is somewhere there. A tier. Chris messed me up with it. Any weapon that Chris uses, it's like the best hammer. So use that if you're looking for hammer. A tier, somewhere A tier. Okay, I believe that's all the weapons. So we're gonna go with the slow weapons. Icugs is first, Fugs is second, Smelter is after that. This weapon, because it's got like halberd moveset, is after that. Okay. And it has the crazy fast backstab. Great Sword is moved up because of stance swap is crazy. Okay. We have the Gurm Great Axe because it has that crazy. Excuse me. Okay. Has that crazy backstab. It's almost like a dagger backstab. I think they messed up on the backstab animation. Then this weapon, just because you can swag out on people with stance swaps, maybe it's very slow. Backstab animation isn't there. The running attacks aren't very good, but the stance swapping is kind of top tier on that thing. Pursuers, I love it. I think it's up there. I love that weapon. This weapon is not good. We have to put that weapon back. Zweihander, very good weapon, very long. You can do the guard break animation. So you do the forward in R1, and you do a guard break with the Zweihander, and then when you push R1 right after that, it does an extremely fast R1, almost like it's the combo, right? So you can do stuff like that with it. Same thing with the smelter weapons, but they do have unique R2s. I love the smelter weapons. I just love that hot Cheeto dust red smelter and the cool mountain blue smelter. That's just wonderful. Just wonderful. Exactly. It's hot Cheeto, or you got to choose your flavor on those smelters, okay? Then we have the laser. You got to get this laser, and if people are arguing that this is a dex weapon, the place I would put it is definitely up in A tier with the this sort of stuff. Getting that laser hit is just so dang good. So we'll just put it up there. It's fine. Okay. Sinner's Sword, unfortunately, just because you take damage using this thing, ooh, it goes down quite a bit. Dark Souls 2 Part 2 Bloodborne PC port. Yeah, I'm looking for Dark Souls 2 as well. When is Dark Souls 2 coming out? And I'm livid after that. Pickaxe, you've seen your buddy Steelovsky use this thing, but unfortunately it's so bad. It's so bad. Some people have messed me up with it. And I mean, guys, the most egregious thing I hear is when people say, Elden Ring is Dark Souls 2 Part 2. No, it isn't. That is like saying Counter-Strike is the next BioShock. Like, I don't know, they're so different. They just feel, Dark Souls 2 is the most unique Souls game, hands down, because it was a completely different style, completely different movement. Everything is great. It's more kind of realistic, the way that you roll and stuff. Oh, it's so good. We're gonna play at some point. And just so you are the most painful, for real. Yeah, it is. It's the best. DS2 is the last one I played more than once. Yeah, and even, to be honest, personally me, I'm not a huge fan of the Dark Souls 2 PvE. I mean, it's good. It's a Souls game, it's great. You can see where there was corners cut, of course. I know some people have, they say, no, it's the best game ever. Okay, I agree. But in terms of PvP, in terms of the whole going out there, invading and stuff, I mean, I feel like it's just so dang fun. It just is hilariously fun. But let's move forward. Pyromancy Glove, I mean, we'll do that later. Okay, we'll do it later. We're still in strength. We have this weapon is one of my favorite strength weapons. I actually might put it above. And I might put it above Zwei. I know that might be crazy, but this weapon is super glitchy with stance swaps, and it's so funny. So try out the Malformed Shell, and it looks like a big tooth. Yeah, the Malformed Shell, super tooth. It's like you can chomp on people. It has a very interesting stance swap. Like it's pretty sick. This weapon, I believe that's down. That's just it's like a great axe. We'll put it down. This weapon, sort of just the same as the smelters, maybe a little bit longer. I believe it either doesn't do enough damage or something. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know. DS2 is hard for the wrong reasons. What do you mean by that, GXN? What do you mean? Elaborate. I'd give Elden Ring that trophy. Yeah, Elden Ring, I wished... the one thing with Elden Ring, and okay, this is like, we're gonna have an Elden Ring day where we talk all about Elden Ring, but I just didn't like how every single thing wants to murder you in Elden Ring. Like, can we just get some friendly... I don't know, it's like, I'm used to like big open worlds like Oblivion. I was just hoping that they'd have some sort of, like, I don't know, less people trying to murder you. It feels like everyone's on a mission to murder you as fast as possible, which is very Dark Souls, and okay, everyone wants that Dark Souls experience. I was just not really into it. Okay, I did beat it though. It's a good game. It's a good game. You can ride a horse. Come on, it's a horse game. Great Axe, it's somewhere in there. I thought an open world meant there would be going on more than just combat. Absolutely, that was my exact... I mean, there's platforming, but then the platforming is kind of, you know, who knows? This big Kings thing, just based on Fashion Souls alone, it's kind of sick, but I'll put it sort of mid strength. And again, we are just doing slow weapons, also known as strength right now. But is that a good thing? Yeah, the amount of times I've died from freaking trying to jump on that horse, oh my god. This Giants thing it hits so hard, but okay, it takes like 70 strength or something, I don't know. The Giants, bro, I mean, come on, like lore-based moment here. It's crazy with that lore. It's okay. It's all right. We're gonna move it down. Unfortunately, it does have a really swaggy R2. It's cool. Probably move this large club above the great club. Let's see if we have some good weapons here. This thing is bad. Dragon Tooth. Actually, it's up there. It's pretty dang good. I'm gonna put it after Smelters just because it's not my preference, but it's almost around the Malformed Shell moveset. Which hammer lacks the downward swing? Yeah, yeah, this one. Yeah, the giant, I know. Some of these are just, it's whack. I don't know, it's really hard to place a lot of these. Based on Fashion Souls alone, GXN said NPC invaders are stronger than most bosses, ADP weird hitbox, and the S to 6 hours a drink. Yeah, it just felt like when you get invaded by Kirk and DS1, but that over and over and over and over and over again. It just felt like that. Yeah, I'm actually pleased to see that some people have some like opinions on Elden Ring that are similar to mine, because as much as I like the game, it just, I don't know, I couldn't play it more than once. I tried to make a thief build and I was like, I'm going back to Dark Souls 2. Then the servers came back on and life's good. So we're gonna be playing some Dark Souls 2 soon. Don't worry, we're gonna play. Same here, Randy. Absolutely good to see you, Randy. Good to have you in. Thanks for coming in. Black Knight Great Axe. I know people use this weapon, but it is a meme weapon. I'm sorry to say, it is not damn good. The run to the blue smelter demon, the hardest boss. If you can learn the quick roll, I guarantee, to everyone who plays Dark Souls 2, learn the quick roll. Learn how to quick roll. If you can learn the quick roll, you'll become a god. You will become a PvE god. It works so good in PvE. So use the quick roll, use high adaptability, and you'll be okay with PvE. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Great Axe, unfortunately, is so bad, it's down there. I'm trying to get the worst ones now. Big Popsicle. Big Popsicle. Put it up here with the Knight one. Basically the same thing. Don't get complacent with this weapon. If you get hit by it, you're basically done. If they infuse it with Dark as well, oh my god. Does like 1200 damage in like one hit or whatever. Don't get complacent. Unfortunately, yeah, it's gonna kill the Giants. Giants I definitely choose over Pickaxe. I'm not a huge Pickaxe guy. I love how they made a shortcut for it, but it's just as hard to get through. Yeah. So if you can quick roll through that shortcut is what I'm saying, because quick roll allows you to just go zooming. Like you can zoom that whole area. So try out the quick roll in that area, and I would say it brings the blue smelter demon up a tier. If we're gonna do bosses, we can do bosses at some point. We can do that. We can do everything. And this is a duplicate, so don't worry about that. This hammer, you can get it early in the game. It's very good. I'll put it up here. It's better than a lot of this stuff. Still, I like some of this better. Tarka said, Undead Crypt Sword, big damage, but requires mad stats. Yes, absolutely. That's the popsicle, baby. That's a big, don't get complacent with that popsicle. When someone comes out with a popsicle and they're just running at you, it can do huge damage, but you're very easily dodgeable if the person knows what they're doing. So you have to be very creative if you're using it and really learn your movement and all this stuff. We'll make a strength build at some point. I love playing strength, and honestly, I think it's really fun, especially if you're running all these top weapons here. If you're running all the top, man, it's fun. It's really good. This giant thing, unfortunately, it looks so cool, but it's just not good. Sure, you can backstab, but it has a really slow backstab animation. you know, it's here and there. It's here or there. This has like a really bad R2, really slow. This is just a meme weapon. I don't think I can really classify this weapon. It's actually better than all this stuff because it has the rolling attack. One-handed rolling attacks on some of these are very nice. This one is very good. They all have it, so these actually get moved up just behind this guy. Yes, move that guy up. This one's shorter, so it doesn't get it. This is here because of that rolling attack, just because of the rolling attack. This one has it too. These are down. This is down. Down, down, down. Unfortunately, it's not very good. This is even worse. It might be the worst. And let's just, some of those axes are not good. At least this has the rolling attack. I didn't think about that, so actually we can put it here because it has that flame. You can do a little cancel on it. Looks fun. Sinner sword in the right place. This is controversial, but I actually like this ultra great sword quite a bit. I would put it around here. This one is only here, and I'm gonna put it above this because the R2 actually just does a repeat of the running attack. So you can do a running attack and then instantly push R2, and all of a sudden you're doing like 2 running attacks, and it's pretty interesting. It's kind of a sick little weapon. That's the Gurm Great Hammer. Yeah, he's Banded Great Axe has the worst range. Yeah, unfortunately those ones are just, I would actually pick the Great Axe over all of those, but they're still pretty wacky. This has bad range. This is sort of really slow here. So put it here. This one breaks fast too. This is probably around here. And that is our strength. That is our strength weapons. And it's probably, people are like, oh, those aren't strength weapons, but yeah, maybe they are. They are. Again, this is the Pursuers. I love the Pursuer sword. What is the meta soul memory these days? I haven't PvP'd in a long time. So that's a great question, Tater. And the thing is, 93, what's up? What are Fug's top tier? Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to learn it. I think people don't use it enough. I know people don't use it enough. we love the big lols in here. Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, so Tater, we all really just play in the Brotherhood of Blood arena or the Blue arena, and those aren't soul memory dependent, but we do play at a meta soul level, and that is 155 around there. You could play 150, probably 160, you're fine. 155 just to meet the difference. That's kind of the meta level that we play at to make builds. Because if you do like a level 200 or a level 250, you're kind of getting a lot of everything, and it feels like you're a little bit strong. But you could play at any level you want, and you'll probably match up with people. But it is what it is. 93, I'm wondering, why isn't Fugs top tier? I like Fugs. I like Fugs. I love Fugs. And I haven't learned it really, so maybe it isn't that good. But we got Chicken Wing on top, okay? Chicken Wing. And slow is a separate list. It's not that it's like the worst weapons in the game, it's just I had to put it down there. Crossbows, we have the Avalon. At first, probably should go like this because this one has a dark attack. It's really close. And then I did see a tech with this shield crossbow where you can, like, you don't have to reload it or something. I think Astora figured that one out. I don't know. Some of this stuff, we're still figuring this out. Like, these weapons can go a long way. And let's just go from the bottom. We have the ladle. We have a lot of weird broken swords, the hammers, the mail breaker, Morning Star. Yeah, Fug's block attacks are very strong. And that's when someone comes up to you, hits that with just like a one-handed R1, and all of a sudden, they're like boink back a little bit. I love that, making people do that animation. Is this a weapon? Wait. No, it's a chime. That's a chime, bro. Oh, did it just crash? No. Fug block attacks often beats without animation. Yeah. That thing is amazing. That thing's great. But ICUGs will be in front of it. I don't know, do people classify ICUGs as a dex weapon, apparently? Yeah, I think it's OP. It's a close call between these top three. I think we're sleeping on the chicken wing. Not enough chicken wingers out there. That thing is crazy. That thing is crazy. Quality? Yeah, it could be quality. In that case, we'll leave it here. When you stance swap the ICUGs two-handed R2 or R1, the laser becomes invisible, but it still has the range. Like, I'll show you in game. Oh, actually, I don't know if I have a build that does that, but we'll show it. Like, we're still untapped. We're still getting a lot going on here. I remember when everyone was using the smelter hammer when it came out. Smelter hammer. That's this one, huh? Yeah, I even have that on my, like, PS3. I think I still have a build that has that. Like, oh, sick smelter hammer. Wasted so many petrified dragon bones on this sick weapon, bro. And it's so bad. It's so bad. But at least it has that the rolling attack. Yes, Icugs will just... the damage is nut. Oh, that's Old Iron King hammer? I'm sorry. Wait, smelter hammer. Oh, that's the chicken wing. That's chicken wing. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Chicken wing. Smelter hammer, yeah. People were using it, but then it fell off there. But it is super good. It has like some weird Yorg's style tracking, if I were to put it like that. E tier, we just have like Dranglake sword and like some weird random axes, maces, the club, which I guess I'm gonna put down there. This thing kind of hits hard. I don't know, this weird weapon over here. Mace, Royal Dirk. It's all sort of just down there. It's not really worth to really order it. C tier, we're starting out with some weapons that can do some attacks with like Faith and Fire. Aldia Bad Hammer, yeah. Like for example, I have Homunculus up here, right? So Homunculus is kind of, it's like when Chris used Homunculus on me, I was like, dang. But then again, that's Chris, you know, he's the best player in the game. He's like tournament, right? He's MLG. MLFG. Starting with these ones that do like faith attacks and pyromancies, all this stuff. We got some weird great swords in here that don't really make the mark. Some of these weird, we could put this one up just because of the moveset. We got the Elan sword, yeah, it's not too good. Lucerne, pretty bad. Some of these weird halberds that don't really make any sense. Some of this one shoots spells, I guess. We could probably move it up. And this one, I think people are sleeping on this. Bone skeleton scythe. That thing is dope. That thing is dope. And some of these weird twin blades don't really work. This Kumo, I'll move up. Just because it's got the normal Kumo, you can probably get really good at that weapon. And if you are like a new game plus, you know, I'm gonna put this top of B tier. This weird Kumo, this weird, what is it called? It is called the Curved Nil Greatsword. So I'm gonna put that up there. Better in quality, that's Homuncule, yeah. Yeah, Homuncule. Right. So moving forward, we have the Varangian, right? We have this sort of broadsword-ish moveset, then the short sword, then the Cestus. If you're roll punching, I could see this being moved up considerably, and actually, let's move it up quite a bit. Love the game. What is your build? Thank you for asking, Tanner, and welcome in. My build right now, I have a couple. One is just doing standard stuff and a lot of this S tier stuff. I've got the longsword, the Estoc, I've got the Uchigatana, and I've got, I think, this dagger here, and and the pike and stuff like that. And I'm just doing sort of just middle of the road S tier stuff, nothing too magical or crazy. And then I just made a guts build with all of the guts weapons, and that is honestly my favorite build right now because it has some of the harder to use weapons like the great sword and all that stuff. So I'm loving the guts build. It's so funny. And the guy I spent like hours making the guy's face. It's so funny looking. So where were we? Yeah, somewhere in here we moved the Cestus up a bit, getting to some of these rapiers that are lesser used. Then we get these ones that shoot webs. I love it. RGBCR, thanks for the follow. Thank you so much for coming in, checking out the stream. We appreciate all you guys. We have this weird halberd axe thing. I don't know, it breaks really fast. I'm gonna put that one actually down. But it has the halberd moveset. Put it there. I don't know. It's Tanner, thanks for the follow. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, just loving streaming, loving to just get this community getting it going. I'm a full-on Dark Souls 2 person, so for some reason only that game. I mean, of course, we'll do some streams in the future where you'll test my might on we test my might on DS3 and DS1. Blue Flame and C tier. Okay, good point. Okay, let's talk about it. if I'm going for a magic build, yeah, I'm gonna have Blue Flame in my kit, in my rollout, but after doing some magic builds, I noticed that it doesn't have the best cast time. It's not my favorite compared to, if you're going cast time, okay, we move it up. We go top of C just because it's all these weapons that can use. I'll give you top of C, I'm giving that one to you. Just because it's a little bit slow, a little bit short, I don't know, you can infuse a longsword with magic and do a ton of damage there, so and get some better stuff. Greatsword is my first build ever, and I ever did. Love it. Yes, Greatsword is so good, and we have strength. This is like slow and strength weapons, just in a separate category. They're not the worst weapons in the game. That's not what I'm trying to say. That's what it says, separate list there. And yeah, it's actually one of my favorites, and it's up here. And this is just my kind of opinion list, so don't take this with too much like, oh my god, he's trying to change the meta. No, I'm just trying to have fun here and make a tier list. All right, excuse ASMR, water ASMR. We're moving up here, getting to some halberd stuff. Okay, this halberd's probably better, lots of range. We have whips in there somewhere. The whip R1 moveset is very good. I haven't found myself losing to very many whips recently, so it's just something where I don't really think about it. Still, B tier is very good. B tier is very good. I hated facing Trident poison builds. The Channeler's Trident, I believe that's in A, no, it's in B. So we're moving forward here. This weapon is kind of like a broadsword moveset, but it has some interesting stuff on it. That is the armor, possessed armor. That's a cool weapon. It has like a self buff. It's kind of an interesting weapon. I think I should use that one. Mastodon, I'm gonna proclaim the king of the halberds. And they have like this wrathful axe here that has like an interesting R2. Unfortunately, the R2 is like an interesting slow thing, but it is one of the longest ones, so it is very good in that sense. I still like the halberd a little bit more than that, just easier to use with like stat requirements and all this stuff. Mastodon, definitely the best one because it's tons of damage. Channeler Trident, absolutely headache to deal with that. So it's over here, and especially the rolling attacks do multi-hit. Very cool build. What is this one? Hide Knight Sword, it's in there. It's like a straight sword, keeping it there. And the R2s are really good. It's okay. It's all right. We're in B tier, so everything's sort of similar. Washing Pole, it's the slow, but very long, but very fragile katana. Pretty cool, not the best. Then we have these two swords. Hide have good runnings. That is true. Wait, okay. I have to say, the two-handed, better than longsword running? Okay, that is crazy. That is throwing some crazy talking. The two-handed running attack is the same as the battle axe. You're right, the rolling attack is good too. Okay, we're gonna pop hides up to bottom of A. You're right. We're gonna pop it up. Just because of the rolling attacks are very good. That is a great point. Maybe good offhand. You're right. And actually, I'm gonna move it up just because of offhand. Okay, all right. That is a great point. Thank you for offering that opinion. Tima with a sub, dude. Thank you so much. Oh my God, we're almost at a. Oh my God. Can you believe that guy went to McDonald's and was playing Dark Souls 2? You see that? He's playing in McDonald's. You see that? One more time. I need to make it bigger. I need to make that bigger. It's so funny. Thank you for the sub, Timmy. Fuck. Timma. Thank you. We're almost done with this tier list. We're basically in 100 bits. What is this? Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Hey, it was good talking to you in Discord the other day, too. This is for PvP hubs. Thank you for asking. I probably should have specified that somewhere. Extremely low poise break. So we're gonna back it up. We're backing it up then, 93. Good to see you, Timmy. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Thank you. You're so nice. Thank you. And we're almost at a sub goal here. I should put it up on screen. 10 subs, and I still don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna wear something. You guys got the fancy shirt today, okay? This is my fancy buckle shirt. All right, so let's keep moving. Channelers, weird scythes. I don't really know where to put those. Claymore, I like to use it. It's not the best weapon. I like to use it. It's pretty cool. Ruler sword does crazy amounts of damage. I don't even know why people don't use this. It's crazy. But it's still a great sword and it's still not that good. But I think I might bump it up. Ruler sword, why are people not using that? Artorias' sword, right? Majestic. We're all sleeping on this. Top of A. Top of B. Top of B. Majestic, okay? Mastodon, one of the best great swords. Flamberge, I like it a lot, still B tier. Shottle, rulers with high poise is great last time I played anyhow. Yeah, honestly, rulers, we have to look into rulers because that thing is crazy. It just hits like a truck. I don't really understand the truck value. If you look in the menu and you push select and you go to truck, it'll say semi. It's the semi hit. Semi truck, all right? It hits like a semi truck, but it's a great sword. They aren't the best weapons in the game, but they're still very, very good. Keeping them moving on here, gets a little bit tight up here. This is where it gets weird. This is where I'm kind of confused. I confused myself. I hurt myself in the confusion. We have the hide spear, and we have a lot of scimitars here. Scimitars are great, but if you're gonna use a scimitar, why don't you just use the warp sword, which is, oof, it's up there in S, guys. It's up there, right? One of the best weapons. It's crazy. We got these rusted swords. I need to do some more testing on those, but I love them. We have this. Is this the? Oh, what is this? Ashen Warrior. It's so long, and it has the straight sword moveset. Black Knight is better because truck damage plus truck range. But isn't that ruler sword long? I guess is it not as long as the Black Knight? I love myself a Black Knight sword. That's why it's up in like middle of A here, and it does fire damage. If someone has a lot of fire defense all of a sudden, hey, you might get kind of messed up. Unlike what's the defense for the ruler sword? So it is kind of an interesting topic. But yeah, Mastodon's back down here in strength, Flamberge, Shottle, lots of curved swords. I need to do some more testing on this red sword, so I'm gonna put it down here. I actually think it's outclassed by Flamberge. Tarkus says, I think it's because people like to invade as well as duel, but having 1 million souls in your bank just for damage messes up with SM. Absolutely, it's super true. Super true, because then if you die, you have 1 million souls that like out on the map. It'll be the worst thing. So if you're just doing arena, rulers is pretty freaking good. We got the Hide Knight Spear. That's a great weapon too. I mean, a lot of these are really good. Ashen Sword, super long. I'm gonna say Nishandra's Scythe is super cool. I really like this one, but it is short, so we're gonna put it down probably under the Ruler Sword. That is the Charred Lois Knight Greatsword. Then we have some problems here. Spitfire, I'm keeping up there on top of B. I love Spitfire. This one is not as good. I'm sorry, I gotta put this down. This is almost like the same as the Battle Axe moveset. Well, okay, we'll keep it there. Crescent, that's a really controversial one, Crescent Axe. I think it's great. I think it has crazy range. Blood Axe, yeah, is that what it's called? Yeah, oh, bound hand axe, yeah. Bad but blood, yeah, that's the bound hand axe. It's okay. We got a spear here. Diabolo, thank you for following. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's just awesome to have so many people come in, and we're gonna keep streaming all the time. This is our deal. We're in it for the long haul. So thank you for the follow. Rust DS1. Yes, I'm rusty on DS1, that's for sure. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. We have here Partisan. I think Partisan is slept on. Randy, thanks for chatting. Thanks for following. Randy _ nice. Yeah, and so I think people are sleeping on the Partisan, but I kind of like the Bident better, and I think Wingspear might be better. Ooh, it's all relative in there. Butcher's Axe does give you health back, even if the guy rolls out of the way and you think that you Like, he rolled right when you hit him. He didn't take damage. You get a little bit of health back. I think it's a regen lord weapon. It's actually very good in, like, regenning, so it's very, very sick. I love it. Has a lot of range. The running just R2 in general is like this running attack, and it hits really nice. It's very, very good. Wait, maybe that's the other games. Okay, we gotta do some more testing. Sometimes you get confused. It's in every game. Okay, it's even in freaking Elden Ring. Key of Embedded, really good weapon. You don't have to upgrade it, but it's more of just like a swag weapon. I think I gotta knock it down to like better than Claymore, but just better than Claymore, unfortunately. Majestic Greatsword, we are sleeping on that. This is a weird lance. It takes up a lot of stamina, but it's still a lance nonetheless. It does a lot. Homunculus, I've been really messed up by this. The rolling R1 on Butcher's Knife is great. They roll, you roll, delay the attack for a second, then it always lands. It's like there's always something wrong with the Partisan. I can't say why I don't like it. Wing Spear always deals more damage and destroys poise more. Absolutely. I think that's the deal with the Partisan, is like it just doesn't hit. And I think we have 2 Wing Spears here. Wait, so we have like the Dark Souls 3, yeah. For some reason we have the Dark Souls 3 Wing Spear. So get that Dark Souls 3 Wing Spear out of here. I'm sorry about that. This is the Dark Souls 2 Wing Spear. Hide deals more? Okay, then we gotta bump hide up. Thank you. We are correcting this. We are correcting this as we go. This is a course correction. Where is that hides? It's somewhere here. Darn it, now I lost it. There it is. Okay. So we'll bump that up. We'll put it in spears, and we're going to put that top of spears. I apologize. But still, this axe, I love the regen aspect. It's very, very good. Majestic at the top there. Just because of that wake up L2 with when he does the double spin. Honestly, it's kind of good. I think some people know how to deal with it more than me, but if you have an S-stock in one hand, you do a stance swap into that thing, I mean, dude, it's actually, people fall for that all the time. If you have poise, it's even better. They like poise, you can poise through their stuff. Just to clarify before I make my build, PvP arenas don't match based off SM. Absolutely, they don't match on SM. They actually don't match on anything, but I think if you're level 150, they match around a certain area. Like, if someone's 150 and you're 150, it'll get you guys the most together, but there is a chance that someone at level 838 will be able to match with you as well. So it's not like you will be, it's not like you're gonna be safe from 838s. Just keep that in mind. And sorry, I was just reading what 93 said. Biden better because Physic can have insane 3-hit combo, 540 Physic damage on 80 strength, insane. I like the Biden a lot, actually. Someone was using Biden against me in the Orange Arena, just messing me up with Biden. And we might have to put Biden in front of Butcher Axe, just looking at that. But again, I do think Biden gets outclassed by lances. We have Silverback here. I think Silverback answers that question about the Partisan. I need to drop this down a tier though. It's not as good as we're talking. We're gonna put it better than Partisan, and actually just in my fashion, like just the look of it, I think is cooler, especially if you're doing like a weird green-blue build. I love the color. We're factoring that in. Yeah, Crag is very good at doing 3-hit combos. Yeah, Crag is very good in general. Crag is great. Homunculus, I saw Chris use this. I was very impressed. But I think I want to drop it to B. I think I have to drop it to B. Let's just, because look at that. When you drop it to B and you say, oh yeah, a lot of these can take out the Homunculus. We're going to put it above the Crescent, but just around here. I think Spears definitely mess up the Homunculus, unfortunately. Parrying Dagger, I think, is just good in general. I don't know. I just think the whole idea of having this dagger that parries really quickly is very good. Just bottom of A tier, it's a good idea if you're doing that. We have this weapon that kind of hits kind of hard, but does the swingy stuff. I think it's untapped a little bit. Maybe in left hand it's very good. We got the Scythe, Red Iron, it's up there. Is this, what is this? Yeah, what's his face? Yeah, I got to look at it. Dragon Slayer Crescent Axe, yeah. So that weapon is very good. It's like a battle axe. Yeah, Dragon Slayer, hell yeah. Sorry guys. I do a little inspection just to see. I have to do a little magnifying glass. Kodo Boy, thank you for coming in. Thank you. Thanks for the emote. I like that. Surprise, that's cool. All right, moving forward, we got the Kumo. Yeah, did they destroy it? Dragon Slayer funny, but no so cool. Yeah, I mean, in terms of fashion, that thing looks amazing. Yeah, did they do a completely different moveset in DS3? Oh, yeah. See, it's the same as the Battle Axe here, right? I believe it is. So we gotta judge it based on like Battle Axe, Hunter's Axe sort of thing. I have them pretty widely spread in A tier. As you can see, Hunter's Axe, Battle Axe I consider to be the best. I just like that it's easy to use, it does a ton of damage. You don't have to use... Same as Hand Axe. Dragon Slayer's unique? Okay, well I'm gonna have to look at that after the tier list. We got Kumo. It's a little bit low, but hey, A tier is great. Excuse me. Kumo, I love Kumo, but it is a little bit short compared to the Arced Sword, which is definitely up there somewhere. Yeah, it's here. So Arced and Kumo are a little bit spread. I like the Arced a lot more. We have a couple daggers here that have really weird movesets. They do have just regular, really quick slash R1s, but it's not that good. Monastery Scimitar. I think people are completely sleeping on the Monastery Scimitar. It does like a 4-hit combo if you can get that R2, but it is very good, very, very good. We have the Black Knight Greatsword. That is super long and super good with damage. But then we have the Thorn Greatsword, and I think I have to move that down. I think it's gonna go down quite a bit. I would say probably better, it's around here, kind of bottom. Red Iron Windblade, I might have to put up there. I think people are sleeping on Red Iron Twinblade, even though like it's a new, people know it as like a noob weapon. I think it has a lot of potential in like modern day PvP. So I think people need to get on that. We're moving forward. Rapier, always good to just have a really good rapier. It does a ton of damage, but I think I'm gonna have to move it down just because it's just not interesting, and it's good. It's an A tier though, okay? It's somewhere in A tier. You can use resins plus the base lightning damage. That is true, that is true. It's in A tier. I wouldn't put it S tier, but it is still an A tier. And you know, see, look how many weapons it is outclassing. So we're taking a look at that. We're keeping moving here. We have the hides. We finally ended up with hides again. We have the Bone Fist. The Bone Fist randomly, I don't know if it's the Phantom range or the weird slowdown it does. It is a pretty dang good weapon. In the offhand, it has, you can switch and do the laser projectile. It's kind of sick. It's pretty dang good. Not the fastest weapon. It's pretty dang good. I would keep it there. I'm gonna keep it there. Then we have this Murakumo style, the Dragon Great Sword. Is that what it's called? Wait. Yeah. Why is it called that? Dragon Great Sword. The R2 is so damn good. So freaking damn good. Sorry if I'm clipping a little bit, guys. Okay. The R2 is so dang good. I'll turn it back up. The R2 is so damn good on that. It's amazing. It's amazing. And, where were we? Okay. R2 does that sweeping thing. It just knocks people down. It actually pancakes people with that R2. You can set up for another R2. If they're like still in their menu or something, do another R2. They get pancaked again. It does around 200, 300 damage each time. It's crazy. Then the criticals on that are nuts. Okay, moving forward, we have this weapon, which is the Hide Lance. This is one of my favorite lances in the game, and I'm gonna move it up to the top here of A tier, because it got down there for some reason. We're moving forward. Berserker Blade, little bit low. It is a katana, but it's short. It's good for strength builds. Dark Drift, I put it a little bit better than the Berserker Blade. I think it's a little bit longer, maybe, I'm not really sure. But it is invisible, it's kind of cool, and it's definitely sick. Twin Blade, I think it's A tier. That could be definitely an argument. I think it's a great weapon. It has a really weird running R1 attack that just manages to get people nice range. So I know I have Twin Blades down here somewhere, probably weird places. For some reason, I haven't had much luck with the other Twin Blades. I think it might have something to do with the poise damage with this one, something like that. Then we have the Manslayer. I mentioned earlier, if you use poison, so freaking good. Drake Keeper's Sword, so freaking good with that R2. Can catch people. It does actually a ton of damage. The R1s, R2s are devastating. Can get people in that little blender. And then we have the Drake Wing. Just those lasers are so freaking good. People are sleeping on Elium Lois. That weapon is crazy. You can take people's health. And I know that's probably like, oh, well, you can take their health, but then what after that? Well, it's actually has really crazy range, and it has the whole curved sword moveset. I think people are sleeping on it. You can cancel the attacks. Hunter axe, really good damage, but it's a little bit short. The Dragon one, the Dragon Greatsword, very long range, maybe the longest Greatsword range. So just for the whole Phantom range thing, it's very good. You're right. They don't want to get the soul for it, and it also has some requirements, I believe, faith and intelligence. So it is kind of one of those weapons where you got to be investing into it. But I think it's very, very good. I think it is very good. Then we have the Soldier Sword, really long sword moveset. It doesn't have the sweeping R2, but it's still very long. We have Mythos Bentblade. It's a dagger. I'm probably going to put it down here, probably top of the daggers of A tier. Then we have, what is this? Chaos Blade, yes. Chaos Blade is in A tier. Very crazy damage, especially you can get hit. You can die in 3 hits with that weapon, or even 2 if you have low vigor. But you got to think about it's hitting your damage, it's hurting you when you're trying to do that, that thing. It doesn't really work super well. You get 50 taken from you even if they dodge the attack. Not that good. One of my personal favorite weapons in the game is the Arced Sword. It's just a very long Murakumo, and the Fashion Souls is off the chain with that weapon. Looks amazing. Battle Axe, we've seen people really do great with that weapon. We're getting near the end here. Retainer Short Sword is a dagger. I have to do some more testing with this, but it is a really good dagger. Dagger. Power Stance Butcher's Knives and Chaos Blade to offset the health cost. Damn, big brain. If we were doing it too, like what weapon in left hand, what weapon in right hand, the tier list would just be, it's like apparently there's so many combinations of weapons. So imagine having every combination of weapons. It's like it's like millions of combinations. So that's just, that is nuts. Nuts. Okay. Almost done here. Retainer Sword. We got this nice lance. Very, very good. We got this nice ice lance. Very, very good. This is my personal favorite lance in the game. The Hide Lance. I believe it takes the least stamina for me. So, what's up going up, Adlard? This is the PvP. This is only PvP. PvE best strength weapons. I can let you know in a second. But that is a lot of. You got to just think about the pure DPS, because we're looking at move set here. We're looking at unique. We're looking at range. We're looking at stuff that you don't really need in PvE. We're looking at a lot of different stuff. This I know for certain the Chariot Lance is one of the best in the game. It has a crazy range. It has like a true combo with daggers. Moving forward, this is a really controversial one. Top of A tier, almost top of A tier, is the ML Chariot Dude. Absolutely. We need to do an only an only Afro cosplay. Anyways, okay. Moonlight Greatsword, top of A. Magic, okay. Really good moveset. I think it's one of the best Greatsword movesets. That's gonna be controversial, I'm sorry. Then we have the Sanctum Mace. This one just is like destroys people. Yeah, I need a real Ruin Helm. Sanctum Mace just destroys, if you're like a noob destroyer. Yeah, the best weapon is the Soup Ladle. Actually, it's like literally the worst weapon on my list. That's so funny. Yeah, it's the best worst weapon. If you want to noob destroy and just get that weird freaking this Sanctum Mace. Oh my god, destroys noobs. Newer people, That's cool. Very good at strength builds. Yeah. And if someone doesn't have moss in their inventory, like they're just done, dude. That thing will just strike fear in people's hearts. Okay, stone soldier. This is a lance. It's like a lance spear. I think people are sleeping on stone soldier. I don't see it being used at all. Might be one of the least used weapons in the game. It's top of A tier. I think it could be S tier if people are just willing to mess with it. We could mess with it. Does anybody know, does it have the one-handed running lance attack? Isn't it super heavy? That's a good point. Great point. So we may have to bump it down. We might have to bump it down. It could be like this. But again, if it's not lance. Oh, okay. I was confused. Thank you. So we're going to put it in spears then. It's going to be B tier. And probably spears, I can move them all up to bottom of A tier. But as it goes, just it's a linear thing. So we got to move it down. Okay, I thought it was a lance. I'm so sorry. Pate spear is lance spear and pike is lance spear. Okay, great. All right, then we have the Royal Dirk. Is this Royal Dirk? Yes, Royal Dirk. I have been really messed up with this weapon. I don't know if I'm gonna put it top of A. I think I could move it down, maybe right after Battle Axe. It's getting really tight when you get up in A tier. It's very good, but it is kind of crazy. All right, S tier. Let's look at S tier. Look at S tier. Santier Spear. Very hard to deal with. Has crazy weird moveset. Super crazy. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I mean, it's okay. It's a bad knife. Yeah. Bandit Axe. It is an A tier. It's a little bit shorter than the Battle Axe. You could argue it's better. You could do this because it maybe does more damage. So it is kind of rough. It's kind of rough. It's getting real tight near A. Getting really tight near A. It's very difficult. But Santier's, very hard to deal with. The Twin Blade moveset, very crazy phantom range. Fume Knight Sword, it does good damage for what it is. It might be bottom of S tier. It might be better than Santier's. I might put it here. Then we have Cian's Halberd, right? Or Cian's Spear? Wait. Cian's Halberd is one of the best weapons in the game. It is so crazy hard to deal with if someone is just really hellbent. Santier's the longest curved sword. Absolutely, that one-handed running attack is crazy long and hard to deal with and hits like a truck too. This is controversial. People are going to be writing in my DMs on this one. We got Pates behind Pike, okay? I do think the extra link on Pike is, yeah, I love Santier's too. I think it's S tier for sure. I think it's one of the best weapons. Pike, right? So dang good. Pike is one of the best weapons for me. For some reason, I feel confident when I have the Pike. I feel safe. With Pates, not so much. I don't know why. Then we have a lot of daggers here, and that's truly just for the merit of having them in your left hand. As we've seen, the meta has gotten crazy with people just put a dagger in your left hand and all of a sudden you're getting a bunch of true combos. And then also, I mean, you can use these daggers on their own. On their own in your right hand, I would say they're not as good, probably top of A tier. You have some other options to deal with it. But just someone getting out there with a dagger is scary stuff. Scary stuff, because it's a very quick moveset. It actually does poise damage. It's really scary. Some of these are crazy. But mostly left hand. Putting this one at the bottom. This one here. Then we have dagger. We have bandits. We have thief. Shadow. I would probably put thief in between those just to vary it up. Then we have this pre-order weapon. This is like a contender for, this weapon is so messed up. It has a really weird moveset, and it's contender for, like, it could be up there. I think once you get up here, it gets wild. Okay, Ornstein's, people probably don't agree with me, but I think Ornstein's is one of the best weapons in the game, especially how long it is. The R2s do the laser. If you hit someone with the whole R2, it does like 1,000 damage or whatever. Oh, thanks, dude, for the derailed coil. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for checking it out. Nice to get a little smile here. Nice to see Paul smile. Shadow, best short dagger. Yeah, I think so too. Shadow's very good. and Steel was using that for a long time. Huge fan of Steel's play. We got Sunsword here. Sunsword might be controversial as well, but Sunsword hits like a tank, does the most poise damage. You don't have to use the stone ring on it. You can just poise, destroy everyone with that thing. The running with the R1s, just crazy. It has the baseball swing R2, so it's not too good, but the one-handed R2s do that. They do have that. It does a lot of poise, right? So you can actually shoot anyone with that stuff. Very good. Moving on, this is the Black Steel Katana. Okay, Black Steel Katana. Very insane weapon, just so freaking good. It's long, it's awesome looking, does crazy damage. It's just katanas are very good. Uchi Katana after that, just because it's easier to equip, and the moveset maybe is preferable to a lot of people. Ice Rapier after that. Ice Rapier, we love Ice Rapier. It's crazy, it does a lot of damage. Doesn't do as much poise damage. Maybe I have the S-Stock here on 4th place. That's one of my personal favorite weapons. So that might be just a little bit of you know, my personal preference, but S-Stock is insane. Longsword as number 3. We all know the longsword. Everybody knows that the longsword is one of the best weapons in the game. You can stance swap it, you can do the R2s, it's long. I know 93 thinks the hides is better than longsword, but I totally disagree. I think that's one of the best weapons in the game is the longsword. Then we have warp sword and we have Yorgs. So we all know about warp sword. Yorgs, probably people could argue that it's around here, maybe in between katanas or maybe here. It could definitely maybe beat the Ornstein spear. So it's something like that, guys. So I hope you enjoyed my tier list. And we'll do a short scroll down the whole thing. Yorgs in first. I know it could be controversial. Definitely is controversial, but you like the hides one-handed runnings more. I mean, I understand you. Yeah, Sherman would agree. Sherman's like, it depends on the player, and it depends on who you're playing. But I think when you're playing someone like Sherman on a Yorgs, it is crazy. And of course, we did not do the Catalyst, and this is a repeat weapon. CC the SM, thank you for coming in and following. Yorgs is your favorite weapon too? Yeah, it's so dang good, it's crazy. Nice list, hard to argue with. Thank you, Tarkus. Oh my gosh, thank you. Because I got a lot of people coming in here saying like, what, you don't know what you're talking about, you know, but everyone's got their own opinion. And of course, it's very hard to make a tier list in this game because the combination of any two-handed weapon, like, so if I have, let's say I have this Ferosa axe or whatever, or this weird lion axe with the warp sword. Well, all of a sudden you have like an S tier setup just because you have warp sword and you can hit people with a really weird, like, slow axe hit. So it's kind of hard to put it all together. I abuse two-handed runnings. I kill random people without even letting them get up. Yeah, exactly. That's the funniest part. You can do a wake up running two-handed with Yorgs. Just make sure your stamina bar isn't completely depleted or whatever. People don't know that you have to immediately dodge like twice. And so they get absolutely destroyed. The regular scythe I put in, I believe it is B tier. It is right here, Kool-Aid. Regular B tier. B tier is not bad, right? I know, I do that too, 93. It's the funniest thing to just... So the regular scythe in B, I'm not a huge fan of it. Oh, the Reaper one. Reaper one. This one? Probably B. Reaper scythe? I think that's a B. The one the Grim Reaper holds? Oh, the regular scythe. I'm sorry. That actually is an A. Yeah, bottom of A tier. Because we're thinking about the consistent backstab damage, the quick hits, right? We're talking about the recovery cancels on it are crazy. As soon as we unlocked recovery cancels, like when people figured that out, all of a sudden, boom, we are just swagging with that thing. Long, can hit behind shields, lots of good stuff. However, jumping attacks, parryable. So that's gonna go bottom of A tier for that. Not very good in that sense, unfortunately. Stamina doesn't take up too much stamina, absolutely, so you can just fly around forever. You can stance swap it. Mastodon Halberd is actually top of the halberds in B tier. And that's an argument, I think, for the halberds. People might want to put them A or B or top of B or all this stuff. You got to look at what else is in the game. It's really tough. It's tough with halberds for me because I honestly think halberds only have one good attack, and that is the one-handed running attack. That's the one-handed running attack is the only good attack. You can wall kick the one-handed running attack. If you guys didn't know, if you're touching the player model of the guy you're fighting, you can one-handed running attack. As you touch him, you can backstep out of it, so you can cancel that attack. It does bump it up a little bit. Rolling two-hand R1. I'm just there so I won't get fined. Good to see you, buddy. DS2 is so biased towards huge weapons. I love those big weapons. We have a separate list for the slow weapons, slow giant weapons, because usually when you're going like a strength build, you're using those giant weapons, and this is ordered from S to F tier here. If you didn't see. This is Pursuers. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe we bump up this just because of stamina consumption. It's really tight. It's kind of, it's tight. I think we've tightened it up quite a bit. Golem, Chime is clearly the best weapon in the game. So, riddle me this, 93. Can you do the quick backstab attack with this? Because I was uncertain. If you can, it's like right here. But if it's the long, like, dish, backstab attack, then the fastest backstab, yeah, exactly. So then it goes even better than the Gurm. Sorry about that. Absolutely. So it's a backstab machine, because it's just like the Gurmax has that really fast, like almost like dagger level. Oh, Tater Tots with the sub. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the sub. Tater, thank you. Oh my gosh, you get a McDonald's Wi-Fi. Fuck. You ever play someone? And I'm sorry, I stole the meme from, you guys know where I stole that meme from. I mean, that's from what's his face. But now you can do the troll phase, Tater. I stole that from Steel. Right here. So I stole McDonald's Wi-Fi, but we're not stealing. We're advancing on the McDonald's Wi-Fi meta. We're building up layers. Now that we know that there's proof of a guy playing playing Dark Souls 2. I should Photoshop it so it's actually Dark Souls 2 on there. Yeah, that's hilarious. Thank you for the sub. Fuck. Idiots, look at that. It says I'm dying from it too. It's so good. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, so we actually did it. I was worried it would 2 hours and 53 minutes. Oh my god, I can't believe anybody stayed through that, but thank you, people. Thank you. This is what I'm passionate about, okay? Damn. GG. And actually, we're not done. We're not done here. I do want to go play some Guts, but we do need to take a little break. It's been 3 hours since we started streaming. But I want to read this. DS2 is the most recent game I played and was kind of disappointed at how unplayable whip weapons felt. I went with the normal spear, actually pretty good, just enough poise break to stagger half the enemies. Dude, thank you for the support, Tater. That is super cool. And actually, oh, quick weapons. So I believe someone asked me about the best strength weapon for PvE, and real quick, I'd probably go with either Fume Knight or Greatsword. Pursuer's Sword is actually kind of sick. Yeah, quick weapons, they're mostly the best in PvP. However, the speedrunners to this day use the regular rapier. Apparently that weapon is just very, very good with PvE, and especially, I guess, if you power stance it with another rapier. Oh, is the durability bad? I mean, you got to get those repair powders, and also, like, when I play PvE in this game, I haven't even looked at the viewer count, but how you doing, Body of Birds? Good to see you, good to see you. What is the viewer count? 43, wow, amazing. Great to have you guys in. Thank you so much for coming in, oh my gosh. You really enjoyed that tier list? Thank you guys, thank you. And this is, I played the game for 8 years now. I think I could actually kind of put my 2 cents forward. I think a lot of people would disagree with a lot of this stuff, but it is not easy, especially when you're thinking about halberds and what, you know, does a twin blade beat a halberd? I mean, it is kind of crazy. So with my own, you know, two cents is what I kind of came up here and put this together. That was all off the dome too. I actually had, I'm gonna tell the truth. I had a template that I worked on and I was gonna go through it, and then I restarted my computer and I'm like, oh, it's gone. What did you pick as the best weapon? The best weapon is the warp sword. Unfortunately so. It has one of the craziest one-handed R1s in the game, and if you infuse it with dark, it just goes insane. And if you put it in any other hand, like if you have the left-handed warp sword, it's terrifying. But it's a close run-up with the longsword. So the regular longsword, guys, very, very good. Very, very good. Gargle Biden is low IMO. I feel you on that, and maybe all spears are low. I'm just here so I won't get fined is now following. Thank you. York's top 1? Where did York's go? Yeah, we might have to put York's. So it's a weird thing, because if you think about it, it depends on the player. It is so crazy, but York's spear might be the best weapon in the game, or warp sword. But if you want to say York's isn't the best weapon in the game, then I have to bump it down like 6 spots. It's a really weird thing in my brain. I can't just go York's here. I don't know why. I don't know why. Is there any reason to beat all the kids spamming Ice Rapier? I tried out Strong Magic Shield. Yo, Crag, what's up, Crag? Is there any reason to beat all the kids spamming Ice Rapier? So the funny part is, Ice Rapier... Yes, Body, can you please post the Orange Arena Discord? Thank you so much, thank you so much. And actually, I want to go get my Discord as well, since I messed up my Discord link and it's really cringe. So guys, go please join the Orange Arena Discord. This is where DS2 PvPers live, right? This is where we live. And we all talk, and honestly, it's a great community that we're building. And I just kind of came in even just a few months ago, and I was like, I feel at home here. I feel like this is, I was away from home, and I came in there, and all of a sudden, everyone's there. Everyone's like, yeah, we're here, and we're here for you. Super, super nice place to be. Super nice place to be. And hold on, let me just do... Invite people. Edit invite, no limit, expire after never. Okay. If you guys would, as well as joining the Orange Arena Discord, you're welcome to join my Discord as well, where it's basically, if you want to keep up with what Radwalls is up to, I do vocals on a lot of songs, I do 3D modeling, I do CG work, I do other games, I just have a blog on there about my life and stuff, so it'd be great to have you in my Discord if you guys want to join. No pressure, obviously, everyone has a lot of Discords, but definitely go join the Orange Arena Discord, because that is where you can meet up with people and play DS2. Oh god, oh that wasn't, oh no, that's not your Discord. Oh god, I closed it. Sorry, that was my Discord. How do you turn those off? Oh my god. I just beat Iron King. I'm curious how much game I have left. I have 2 out of 4 boss souls. I think him and Lost Sinners. I went literally everywhere except the lady you unpetrified by Imagula. Just beat the Scorpion lady. You have quite a bit of game left, because there are, when we first played the game back in the day, they started releasing DLCs one by one. But now if you have the Scholar, the First Sin edition, won't get fined, then you get all of those integrated into the game now. So you have a lot of places to go. Like behind the Iron King, you probably saw there's a weird place back there. If you get a key later in the game, you can come back there and there's a secret area there. I know, why is so, like, I uploaded these icons into here, Crag, and some of them got so distorted, it's so funny. By the way, I just listened to music with you vocals. Very cool. I liked it. Thank you so much. Yes, I do sing. I do give vocal lessons. If you guys are interested in that, I work with a really great vocal coach named Jamie Vendera, who I work for, who can break wine glasses with his voice. We should just pull that up. It's so crazy. Let's pull it up. This is gonna be off topic.
Number 85 for the Voice Instructor Council. Yes.
Oh man, I need that as a redeem. I need that as a redeem. So good. So he can break wine glass with his voice because he basically figured out that you can train your voice, you can get stronger at singing, and you can do anything with your voice. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Sorry, I got some, I'm gonna catch up on chat here. Hello, I play this game since the release, and I can say I generally agree with this list. Thank you so much for the agree. Thank you. I think we did a good work here. We definitely had some help with 93, pushing up hides. So if you guys have any qualms, I'd love to hear them. I was mad to find out key items got moved around, so when I look stuff up, it's not right half the time. Yeah, so you can't look stuff up, you gotta play it blind. Yeah, the list ain't bad. That's funny, Craig. Maybe I think the Bandit Axe is probably better in my opinion. Yeah, let's just put it next to the Battle Axe. I personally like the Battle Axe more, just maybe the fashion looks better. It's a little bit smaller too. But thank you guys for coming and sticking around. And actually, we're gonna go play some Dark Souls 2 PvP. But for now, okay, we have the tier list here, and I want to just do a little bit of house cleaning here because there was some differences here that I want to comb out. First of all, Cestus is S tier, so I want to bring Estus up from B to S. And with the S tier Cestus Estus, it's coming up with this claw and this claw, and where's the last one? Even the hook. All of the claws. Okay, the claws have the roll punch. Everything has the roll punch. The Cestus has the roll punch. This claw has the roll punch. They all have roll punch, and roll punch is S tier. So that's just want to clear that up. Sorry if that made anyone offended, but that's all I've been really thinking about. Just putting on the record, okay? Put it on the record. Everything else is pretty dang good, actually. I don't really have too much of an issue with everything else. So that's yeah. Look, I'm sorry, Salo. I know you wanted those in F tier. Work hook. If it has the roll punch, it's S tier. That is my. Technically, I'm saying two in each hand, so you need two of each. But if it has the roll punch is insane. Roll punch has always been insane. With proper spacing, timing, this even has more range than the Cestus probably, and that makes these better than the this. So we're putting work hook S tier, probably in the back. Roll punch is insane. Yeah, everything else is pretty good. That's what we're clearing up, Panda. We're clearing it up. I want to clear the record of my name. Everything else is pretty dang close, with some jumbling. And slow is a separate list. It's not the worst in the game. Separate list. We would do a separate, and I would love to show like examples of all this stuff.